Okay, morning everybody. Morning and welcome once again to Perkins Online. What a plethora of good news this morning. The exports are up 31% over the last, 9 months? In addition to that, tourism is up to record numbers. We are told by the I gather the information comes not from the minister, although she delivered it, but from the tourism authorities, whatever the name is. Tourism is up. 3 million tourists more came into the island last year. The winter season is not yet up, is it? So the numbers might still be there, going up. And we earned an additional additional 24. Hold on a little bit. An additional 1.9 million. 1.9 billion US dollars from tourism last year. Things are humming, you know. The economy is doing wonderfully well. I mean, you know, the sort of news that one would expect as we approach an election. The country is looking rather the old donkey cart is looking rather rickety, and, you know, little bits and pieces of the wood rotting here and there, and the donkey don't look so wonderfully well. I don't think that anybody would want to butcher him for but we are told the looks of things are not what they should be, but we are told that we are given all this wonderful news, which of course it is impossible for us to check. We have to make up our minds either to accept it or reject it. But it sounds absolutely wonderful for going into an election period. I don't know when the election is going to be. I've been hearing all sorts of rumors. Some people have even been telling me that the election is likely to be held in February. I don't know. Don't know anything about that. But if it is to be held in February or very early in March, you know, this stuff is coming in good time. As I say, we don't know whether it is true, but it is out there, and it sounds good. Sounds absolutely wonderful. There is a story, fascinating story, in the Gleaner this morning. Some person making predictions, prophesying, I suppose he would call it. The headline says more prophecies from the Joseph Daniel ministries and the Montego Bay prophetic company. The Montego Bay prophetic company. And This is the kind of stuff that the Gleaner chooses to publish. I wonder why. Have you noticed that the Gleaner seems to be publishing very little in the way of news these days? Its pages are full of a whole lot of, I don't know what they are because I don't read them. But, and here is this picture of this clergyman with Sister P. And he's prophesying that minerals discovered in Jamaica, there will be some discovery of minerals in Jamaica this year, apparently. And secondly, the 5th term in office for the PNP. He's prophesying that. No doubt God sent him to tell us that. God appointed him prophet. And then he says, a senior politician will resign after the election. Is that going to be the leader of the opposition? I don't know. And then he said, the days of a talk show host are numbered. The days of a talk show host are numbered. I wonder who that talk show host is. Well, numbered for what reason? A refusal a failure to agree on a contract with the medium for whom this talk show hosts work? Or could it be that this talk show host will lose his place, lose his voice, because of the declaration of a state of emergency? I gather Dr. Peter Phillips is to start a meeting, I think today, with senior members of the security forces, and is to come up with a remedy for the surge in crime that has occurred since the year began and seems to be continuing. But in addition to that, the Commissioner of Police has told us that he told the whole country, and in the process thrown the country into shivers, that stockpiles of guns are being accumulated by persons who are determined to make this coming election a very bloody one. And when people hear that, they are not only shivering, but demanding that something be done. Time for drastic action. And I should not be surprised if, as I've said before, should not at all be surprised if we find ourselves being shackled under a state of emergency. And I suppose some members of the opposition will be sent to, will it be red fence or black fence? Whichever. And talk show hosts who contribute in any way to the government's discomfort may well find themselves excluded off the air. It happened before, you know. I was telling you only yesterday, there was a talk show host doing a program called Public Eye at JBC. And after the state of emergency came in, JBC dispensed with his services and replaced him with Deacon Ronald Thwaites. I should not be surprised if it happens again. That is the way power tends to be misused in this country. Okay, the gyrations continue in the Public Accounts Committee, but we have to come back to that. I must take a break now. Sorry, we're back here online. Okay, there's a story on the front page of the Gleaner this morning. I heard one talk show host referring to it on his program and speaking mockingly of the subject of the story. Well, the First Caribbean Bank. You remember, First Caribbean was the bank. Now, how did it go? The Trafigura check, I think, came to an account, did it, in First Caribbean? Something of the sort. And there was a question whether a member of the staff, a high-ranking member of the staff of First Caribbean, had been involved in transmitting the information to Mr. Golding, the leader of the Labour Party, and in so doing breached the banking rules. Now, First Caribbean, conducted an investigation into the matter, and the Gleaner is telling us this morning, First Caribbean cleared of Trafigura wrongdoing. Wrong. First Caribbean cleared of Trafigura wrong. And the story says, 3 months after it became embroiled in an alleged breach of customer confidentiality in the Trafigura scandal, First Caribbean International Bank yesterday, and listen to this word now, First Caribbean International Bank yesterday absolved itself of liability, claiming it had adhered to the law and banking regulations. First Caribbean yesterday absolved itself of liability, claiming it had adhered to the law and banking regulations. And of course, this was what my colleague on this talk show this morning was mocking. can First Caribbean clear itself? How can it absolve itself? And of course he's quite right. How can First Caribbean absolve itself? But if you read the story, it appears that First Caribbean is saying nothing of the kind. First Caribbean is merely saying that it has investigated the matter and has found no evidence that any of its employees had been involved in the disclosure of any information regarding any of its clients, insofar as that information came from within that bank. It did say that it had discovered that one of its employees had been involved in getting information from another bank, regarding matters, an account in that bank, but no evidence that that anybody, any employee of Caribbean International, First Caribbean International, had any part in disclosing information regarding accounts held in First Caribbean International. Now, what is happening here? Is this not some kind of irresponsibility on the part of the Gleaner? Or some sub-editor, some reporter and sub-editor who, writing this, not knowing what the implications of it would be? I think that my colleague, talk show host, should have been laughing at mocking the Gleaner for having put out a ridiculous story. But I don't think, in all fairness, from reading this story, that this piece of idiocy can be attributed to First Caribbean International. It isn't they who have done it. It's the Gleaner. They put out a statement and refused to comment further on that statement, on the matter. The Gleaner hasn't published the statement. It tells us, I suppose, some of what or I don't know how much of what the statement said. But nowhere does it indicate that in the statement, First Caribbean says that it was absolving itself. Right? I think we must be fair. Part of the problem is, of course, that we don't understand the English language to quite the degree that we should. You know? That's part of the problem. Okay, well, one looks forward to hearing about the state of emergency. We should be hearing about it quite soon. But things are not looking good for the party. I should imagine that they're in a lot of trouble. And telling story. I think they're in a fair amount of trouble. I don't know that coming out with bright stories about tourism numbers going up and exports going up and all sorts of things like that. I don't know that is going to help when people are feeling the pinch and not finding any easement at all from these happy outpourings. Anyway, let's go to the telephones. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. President.
Morning to you, sir.
Yeah, you better cease from embarking upon that state of emergency argument, you know.
I beg your pardon?
I say you better cease from embarking upon that state of emergency argument.
Why?
Because that state of emergency was discredited in 1976.
Oh, yes, but it worked very well. It enabled the party to win the second term without any
But the PNP will have to pull something else out of the hat.
How you mean?
Because the present Prime Minister was also there, along with certain other people that are now returning to the political arena as candidates.
So?
But I remember a man named Leary from St. Anne,
Yes.
who was locked up on a blank form.
Yes.
That was signed by the dead minister, Kibamon. So those are the type of thing that the people of Jamaica have gone through.
Not only that, there's a better story. There was one of the first persons detained under the state of emergency was a man named Ray Miles. Yes. He was detained. He was at a meeting that the Labour Party held somewhere in Montego Bay. I can't remember the hotel. At which I think there were 5 persons detained. And he was one of them. These were the first persons detained under the state of emergency.
Even when that state of emergency.
And then a day or two later, the British High Commissioner requested of the government information as to why Mr. Ray Miles had been detained. It turned out that Mr. Ray Miles was a British subject.
Yeah. Because you see,
you know what happened?
Yeah, man.
He was immediately released without question.
Yeah, and many other people were incarcerated.
Well, they were incarcerated and held in incarceration because they were not British subjects nor American citizens. They were Jamaicans. And there was nobody to represent them. To ask questions as to why they had been detained.
Yeah, because...
Hold on just a moment.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We're back here online.
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir.
At the time of the imposition of the state of emergency, I was campaigning for the GLP in East Rural St. Andrew.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Did they lock you up?
No, I got information that I would have been locked up, that I was involved in with some unscrupulous individuals.
Yes.
So I make a quick exit back to country.
From the country?
Right back to the country, man.
Oh, back to
St. Anne.
Oh, I see.
Because where I am from...
There too.
Huh?
They could have locked you up there too.
No, man, where I am from, you know, they regard as a bastion of the People's National Party.
I see.
So they figure that irrespective of what I say or do there, they would still win.
I follow you.
But where I was in the corporate area, they figured that I could help to turn around the result.
I see.
So I was a smart man and I made a quick move. But maybe I would have been able to write a book like Mr. Purnell Charles.
Yes.
Anyhow, the next thing, I see that with the gate about to be flown.
The what? The gate?
The gate. According to Mr. Patterson, when he's going to fly the gate pertaining to the calling of election. some new prophets are emerging.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're talking about one down in Montego Bay.
Well, I see him in the Gleaner, and he's standing beside Sister P.
Yeah, man, well.
And the story, he's prophesying
fifth term.
The fifth term, man.
Yeah, well, Reverend Finn predict the fifth term too, you know.
Yes.
And I see a next person the other day with my surname to predicting fifth term, who is a member of Mr. Finn, team of prophets.
I see.
So he's a whole heap of them out here, you know.
Yes, well.
But they said there's a saying that beware of wolves in sheep clothing. But you see, the predictions that they're making, I hear you say that because I don't see any gleaner.
I wonder how God feels about his name being used in politics as it is.
No, well, if God was like man, he would smite many of those people already, you know. God, the worst fanatic you can find is a religious fanatic. And you remember how many the Ayatollah come in and destroyed in the name of politics?
Mark, you know, Sister P did say that that she had been sent by God. And that therefore there was a duty. All Christians had a duty to support her.
And if you feel it's not, she feel it's the people.
Yes.
But the predictions that I hear you reading, because I don't see any gleaner yet, that one, some senior politician will resign.
Yes.
And you're wondering if it's Mr. Golding.
I'm wondering if it's Mr. Golding they have in mind.
But I am wondering if it's Roger Clark.
Why?
Remember Roger Clark said he wasn't going back in and he said that he was sick.
Yes.
And in order to win that seat down in Westmoreland, they moved Mr. Buchanan. So maybe Mr. Clark is only a standing in order to win the seat and then him resign.
No, man.
And bring somebody.
No, sir. No, I don't think. I think that you're going to have Mr. Clark with you for a long time. Assuming that they win the fifth term.
That is assuming that they win. And
that he wins that seat.
The next one that the days of a talk show was nobody. Are you wondering if it's you?
Am I?
Suppose it's Mr. Twaits.
Mr. who?
Twaits.
Oh! Yeah, I don't know.
Mr. Twaits going to Parliament and will be returned.
No, I'm not assuming that it is I. I mean, you know, I'm a nice fellow. I don't trouble people, and I'm sure the party would be quite happy to have me here.
Yeah, I figured that especially Sister P.
Yes, indeed.
Because you haven't spoken bad about her.
No.
So she will have to regard you as a nice guy.
Bad about anybody.
Pertaining to the record tourist arrivals.
Yes.
And the amount of revenue that we have derived. We have heard that crime and violence will affect tourism.
Yes.
But for a long time we don't hear that. Because with all the crime and violence, we have in record arrivals of tourists.
Yes.
So the tourists not really afraid of crime then?
No. But let's say somebody, a friend of mine I was talking to, said that they bring tourists here to Jamaica to lock them up in concentration camps.
They're all inclusive, so they have to stay in and can't go out.
Well, and I think that up to now they've been reasonably safe in the concentration camps.
Yeah. The PAC sitting yesterday.
Yes.
I heard your friend referring to our opposition MP as a half-idiot. But in terms of his performance, he proved that he is a full idiot.
Well,
because both of them are from the same legal profession, you know.
Yes. Yes.
But that situation at the PAC I find rather interesting.
Well, I tell you something, you know, sir. If somebody has a strong case, you know, and can present that case persuasively, you don't find him shouting and screaming and cussing people and all this kind of thing.
Because the strength of your argument
he has no need to do that. Right? All he has to do is present his case. and present it well, and people will be persuaded by his presentation. Now, if you haven't got that though, and you feel an urgent need to distract attention from other and stronger cases that are opposed to your position, then what you hear is the kind of thing that has been going on in the PAC for some time.
You call them down with sound and fury.
Yes, and constant interruption and, all this kind of thing.
Yeah, and what I found interesting was Mr. John Jr., when they asked that Mr. Hilton report be admitted, Mr. Jr. said he read it and he never find anything in it that could really make any significant difference.
Yes.
But if that is so, why do I allow it to be admitted so that the people who hear exactly what it contains can be the judge?
Yes, well, I don't know, but he obviously... Incidentally, I also hear that they're objecting to Mr. Hilton being brought before the committee. No?
Yeah, they are objecting to that. But if there's nothing to hide, why
objecting even more violently or vigorously to Mr. Patterson being summoned.
Because these are well-educated and brilliant men who can defend themselves, So if they have nothing to hide, they should come forward and present their case and allow the people to be the judge.
Well, yes, I see no difficulty with that. I mean, but the persons on the committee who obviously want to shield them and to protect the position of the government. And I see Mr. Butch Stewart firing some lick there.
Yeah, man, Mr. Butch Stewart is not an easy man, because I hear one of the liars, the man that make the most noise is the opposition defending the strength of man's money. But when that man did get the Air Jamaica, by his intervention into the foreign exchange market to bring down the dollar from 28 to 22 to 1 to give the PNC the first term. They never consider the strength of the man's money. They never consider the strength of the man's money.
Was that what gave him Air Jamaica, though? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, man. Then you remember Mr. Stewart did bring down the dollar from 28 to 22.
Well, he was in good favor at the time. But it didn't take the dollar long to get up into the 30s and into the 40s and...
No, it never take long time, but it achieved its goal because at that time the price of goods went down. And the people got some benefit when the election was due to give Mr. Patterson his first term.
Yes.
So when you hear these men talk, we the people who have been following this thing and understand the game of politics Jamaican style has to laugh only that it is serious matter. But the young people...
What year was it that that was later than 93?
Nah, man, it was right down in 92, 93, man.
You sure?
Yeah, man, when the dollar was reduced from 28 to 22 to 1.
Yes, I remember that.
And then when it started moving...
Boy, that sounds like a long time. 28 to 22 to 1?
Yeah, man.
Oh, my God.
And then when it started to move again, Mr. Patterson...
Those were the golden days of the dollar.
Yeah, man. Then when it started to move again...
There were even more golden days, but,
those were the good days. And when it started to move again, Mr. Patterson says when it reached 34 to 1, the government has a three-prong attack to deal with black market dealers and speculators.
Yeah.
And today the dollar is 67.31 to 1. And will soon be 68 to 1.
Anyway, you be very careful. You see, when the state of emergency comes around, I mean, you might well be...
No, well, I will bet you that there will be no imposition of any state of emergency.
You're sure?
The government will have to think twice, wheel and come again.
Okay.
Because the Jamaican people saw for what that was imposed and what was the objective, and it was achieved.
We shall see what we
shall see.
All right?
All right, okay, have a good day.
Okay, hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What the devil is going on in my mind? Morning to you.
The way you treated me yesterday is deplorable.
I beg pardon?
One likes to have a good argument with somebody.
Uh-huh.
And, you traffic guru, you sound like a recurring decimal, sir.
Look here, you sound like you're coming from very far. Would you bring the telephone closer to your...
You sound like a recurring decimal.
Huh?
Is there nothing else important for us to talk about?
Apart from?
When you get this state of emergency talk, where's that come from?
Well,
please.
It doesn't seem to you that we're being prepared for one.
I doubt that very much.
No?
I doubt that very much.
But haven't you heard that there are plans? Hold on just a moment for me. Okay, thank you very much. We're back. We're back with you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Haven't you heard, sir?
Didn't you get an email from me?
Haven't you heard that Haven't you heard that large stocks of arms and ammunition are being accumulated? And preparations made for making this election into a bloody affair?
Please, will you stop dealing with hearsay? Bring the evidence forward.
Hold on a moment. I must bring the evidence forward?
But you're the one who's making the statement.
No.
You are suggesting...
No.
stockpile of weapons...
No, that is not true.
From a third-party source.
That is not true.
That's not admissible in court.
That is not true. And if you're in touch with what is going on in Jamaica, you would know that came out of the mouth of the Commissioner of Police.
What evidence has he got? You should state where the evidence is.
I don't know, sir. I don't know, but that is not my business. But my business is that he made that statement, and that statement has caused a fair amount of shivering, I'm sure, among the people of Jamaica. And the demand for stern measures to be employed against the perpetrators of this violence, right? Or the people who are planning this violence, right? And I hear that the minister who says that what we need in this country are severe, extreme, and resolute measures. I hear he's having meetings with the commissioner and other people in the security forces.
You're deducing from that there's going to be a state of emergency because
I beg your pardon?
Statement.
I beg your pardon?
You're reducing from that there's going to be a state of emergency from what the Minister of Security said.
Look here. This party has used the state of emergency before.
I expect a direct answer.
Hold on. Will you listen to me, sir? There are a lot of things you don't know, you know. This party, while in government... Your party, the PNP... has used the declaration of a state of emergency for political ends.
In the past.
This has happened, yes.
In the past.
Okay. Well, now, why should they not use it again?
Why do you think they could get away with it on this occasion?
Why I think what?
Bright, people understand, there's other observers, there's other countries looking in what's happening. Why do you think they'll take that chance again?
Well, because if they're desperate enough.
It's a sensible route to go down.
No, man. They have said...
It's a redeemable route to go down.
Hold on a moment. The chairman of the party has said that we always think that it is best for the country for us to form the administration. So anything that will...
You know something, sir? Can I just make a point?
I beg your pardon?
You know why why the Jamaica Labour Party would not accept $31 million or it wasn't offered for them?
Why the Labour Party is not what?
You know why the Labour Party has not been offered $31 million? They don't need to, because you advertise... You are the spin doctor from 10 o'clock till 2:30 for the Jamaica Labour Party.
I am the spin doctor for the Jamaica Labour Party.
Speak to Alistair Campbell, Tony Blair. I've sent you an email with Tony Blair's number to speak to Alistair Campbell, the chief spin doctor
doctor in this country. It's all propaganda.
Look here, sir.
Stop it.
You can say whatever you like.
And see what is right for Jamaica.
What is right for Jamaica?
Yes, and the Jamaican people.
I am saying, sir, that is not the issue here.
What's the issue, sir?
The issue is that the People's National Party is going into an election. Things are not as good as they might have been. Right?
Oh,
and
could I
they believe,
I'm going to bring you back about
they believe,
could I just explain something?
They believe that their having power is so important that anything that will bring them back into power is in the interest of the country.
Reflection is a very
so they will doubtless think that the state of emergency, if it will help them to lock up some opposition members and to possibly some talk show hosts and
that is 26
other
years
such
ago,
people.
30, 26, 27 years ago. Move on, sir.
Yes, but they did it.
Move on.
They did it.
What I'm saying to you,
and if they see it as being to their advantage, they will do it again.
I doubt that very much. No. In my mind, I doubt that very much.
Well, I wonder why.
You're going to say I'm a comrade, ain't it?
I beg your pardon?
You're going to say I'm a comrade.
But aren't you?
I'm not a I am not affiliated with no political party.
I see.
I do not. What's the term you use?
You have evidence that I am affiliated to a political party?
No political party. I'm a fair-minded.
Do you have evidence that I am affiliated to a political party?
You are the spin doctor from 10 o'clock to 2:30 for the Jamaica Labour Party.
What is the spin that I'm putting on now?
You start the program negatively. And before we go any further, I tell you what, you can get a PhD. I think it's 80,000 words.
I don't want a PhD.
Jamaica Labour Party.
I don't want a PhD.
In charge of going into the University of the West Indies, and you could get your PhD.
No, man, I would consider it a waste of time to go looking for a PhD.
Jamaica Labour Party, for and against, and you could get a PhD. So you'll be Dr. Wilmot Perkins.
I don't need that, sir. I'm fine without it.
I think you should. I am nominated. I'm going to send an email to the University of the West Indies and suggest
you are what?
Honourable Fellow of the university.
What you say? Hold on, I didn't hear that. Hold on, I didn't hear that. Say it again.
I said I'm going to write to them and suggest they give you an honorary degree.
No.
In politics.
No.
For the Jamaica Labour Party.
No,
on the subject of the Jamaica Labour Party.
No. I would refuse it.
No, sir. I would travel from England and come and to be there to witness your inauguration.
Oh, is that so? I'm afraid you wouldn't have that opportunity.
Anyway, let's be fair now. Let's be fair and balanced, please.
Be fair and balanced. In other words, I must say what you want me to say.
To enhance their...
Hello. Being fair and balanced.
Is something that the money...
My being fair and balanced means my saying what you would like me to say. Is that what you mean by?
I don't disagree with everything you say, sir.
What?
I do not disagree with everything you say.
You don't disagree with anything I say?
Everything. Every. Not any. Every.
Oh. Well, what do you disagree with?
I disagree with you being the spokesperson for the Jamaica Labour Party.
I am not the spokesperson for the Jamaica Labour Party, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you do a straw poll by one of your favourite posters, and they would say, Perkins is a Labourite.
Yes, and if I say that the country has been badly misgoverned over the last 18 years.
Let's deal with that then. Listen, that's what I wanted. Listen. Could I suggest to you, 1980, Margaret Thatcher took over this country as the Prime Minister. We're producing cars that we can't sell. We've got a coal mine that's inefficient. So she administered certain medicines. And I think that Dr. Omar Davis is doing the same thing.
You think so?
What the patient takes the medicine, and there's light at the end of the tunnel.
That's very funny, sir.
Strongest economy in Europe.
Hold on a little bit.
Because of the rule.
Hold on a little bit.
Things that Margaret Thatcher did.
How much debt did Margaret Thatcher leave Britain in?
A lot.
Oh yes?
A lot.
Like how much?
The figure, I cannot put my finger on it.
Like how much?
We just finished paying a debt that we borrowed 19
hold on a little bit.
Second World War.
Didn't the British economy
paying the Americans that?
Didn't the British economy improve under Margaret Thatcher?
Look, that wasn't under Margaret Thatcher. I'm referring to after the Second World War. When the European Union came about. We borrowed
No. Margaret Thatcher was not then Prime Minister. Margaret Thatcher was not then Prime Minister of Britain. Don't talk rubbish. Go and get your facts straight. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Okay, hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Perkins.
Yeah.
I want you to stop condoning to that stupid, silly English discussion, you know.
You want what?
That silly cow that was just talking to you a while ago.
Oh, come on. Be nice
No. I'm really upset about that guy. You listened yesterday, he's telling you that he leave Jamaica. And the only time he came back here when he was 9 years old, isn't it?
No. He left Jamaica when he was 9.
Yeah, and he came back here when? 1980 or which time?
I don't know that he has come back.
I could swear that he said when he came back here, he was 9 years old. Check what he says there.
Yes, okay, I'm not sure.
Right, and I'm saying no.
Yes, I think he was here in... Yes, he did say something like that.
That's right. So, why is he taking up these affairs of Jamaica when he's not even... What contribution did he put here? These people don't even live here.
I don't know, sir.
So he's more than a spin doctor. He's getting money from where and who?
I don't know if he's a spin doctor, but he's certainly, you know...
No, but he's not relevant on the program, Mr. Perkins.
Well...
Trust me.
We take all opinions on this program.
I did want to hook up with you a while ago to ask him a couple of questions. Because such a dunce.
We take all opinions on this program. We accommodate all opinions.
Pardon me?
I say we accommodate all opinions on this program.
Yeah, that's true. But what I'm saying, you know, people who do not understand what's taking place in Jamaica with the system and the government.
Well, if he says what he says, you will come to your conclusion, and so.
Yeah, Mr. Perkins. As I say, you know, if I do, I travel to England, okay, and I never try to get in the affairs of the Queen, Tony Blair, nor nobody, because I do not live in England, okay. Right. So people who, you know, migrate here for...
Well, you nonetheless have opinions about what goes on in Britain, I suppose.
Pardon me?
I say you nonetheless have an opinion about what goes on in Britain.
No, what goes on in England, Mr. Blair, Mr. Perkins, is just that, you know, some people may disagree with Tony Blair, or some people may disagree with the monarchy, or something. But yet, it's far away, 1 million times better than Jamaica. It governs 1 billion times better than Jamaica, isn't it?
Well, that's why this gentleman is there rather than here.
That's right. But he's telling you that we living under a system that...
Hold on just a moment for me. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, as I was saying, Mr. Perkins, you know, he is living in a bed of paradise and a bed of roses and everything in luxury. Because the poorest man in England lives 10 times better than the man in Jamaica, who is much living like a middle income person. Okay? Right, and you see, he's one of those Jamaicans that spent 40 years up there and 50 years. That enslave we the Jamaican when we get there, because the people who live in England over 40 years. When you go there as a Jamaican, they look down on you. Okay? And trying to make it. They look down on you and try to push you aside.
Is that so?
I from 94, I've been going into England. Since 2004, I've been back here. Okay? Right. And I have kids there. But what I'm saying to you, people like those people calling, telling you about, you know, what is good for us and what is not good.
Well, I don't know. In view of the fact that he lives in Britain, I'm not quite clear. It's not quite clear in my mind why he's so strongly emotional.
No, but you should pick sense out of nonsense, Mr. Perkins. That man is getting something from the PMP government.
Well, I don't know.
He's one of them probably come here investing.
No, sir, I wouldn't like to say that.
No. Well, I would take it on my head to say that. You know, not on your behalf saying it. I'm saying it to what I feel, because yesterday he's there talking about rubbish.
I don't want to speculate on that. I have no evidence of that.
No, well,
anyway, you called about something else, I'm sure.
Right. As I say, this state of emergency thing what you're talking about, that is something that they've been lobbying from when? From Mr. Patterson was there?
Oh?
Yeah.
I
think I get a sound of that in the media one at a time. But it wouldn't be strange. No, it wouldn't be strange if they, reinstate it, because it's just something for them to reinstate back the state of emergency. And it's all about a political, manipulation. That's what they're going to use it as. You see what I'm saying? Right. And at the end of the day, I don't want people to forget Portia Simpson, who she was. I was there, Mr. Perkins, from 1972 right up until 1980. Okay? And I know the sort of government this government produced.
From 72 to 80 what?
This government. I say I was there and I know about this government. When Michael Manley take it over. Right. And Portia Simpson, Dudley Thompson, Carl Thompson, Mina Wilmot, David Core, they was all a member of parliament in my area that I live. Okay? And it's something that every time an election is coming up, these people breed some kind of violence just to get the people in control. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so this is what I'm saying to Jamaican people now.
It's noticeable too that every time since 1993.
That's right.
Every time an election is coming up.
That's right.
Something happens in Tivoli Garden.
Right.
Right? In 93, it was this Taylor. The Taylor.
Yeah, I remember that Taylor.
Who was supposed to have been altering police and soldiers' uniforms. And there were gunmen in his tailor shop who ran when the army was sighted. Members of the army. And when the soldiers came in, they found a huge bag of...
I'm going to lose. I'm going to get my credit. This is going to finish, so... I say, I'm calling on the Jamaican people to open their eyes and stand up strong, because we can't take poverty no more.
All right, well, all right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much. All the best to you. Hello. Yes, good morning to you.
Hi, morning, Mr. Perkins. Mr. Perkins, I've been trying to get you from Monday.
Yes?
Because I heard a very interesting piece of news and I thought I'd share it with you. I was at a client of mine and I met a gentleman from New Jersey.
You what?
Gentleman.
You were doing what?
I was at a client. Right, and I met a gentleman who lives in New Jersey and he's involved in real estate. And he told me that our former Prime Minister, Mr. P.J. Patterson, outbid Mr. Donald Trump on a house in Europe. And
outbid Mr. Donald Trump on a house in Europe?
In Europe. But of course, it was kept very hush-hush,
When is this supposed to have happened?
I'm not sure exactly when, but he seems to be somebody who is not one to speak loosely.
Yes, but how does he know that this happened?
Well, apparently, I don't know if it took place. I guess real estate, they would know what happens. Being that he's in the real estate field, probably he would hear about these things more readily than somebody who is not.
Yes.
But
for one to outbid somebody else on a particular unit, on a house or whatever.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily follow that one is richer than that other person. Right?
No, I'm not saying it does.
But if bids were invited, Mr. Trump looked at the house and said, well, I'm prepared to pay so much for that house. Right?
Right. Right.
Mr. Patterson may look at it and say, well, I'm prepared to pay so much for that house, and what he's prepared to pay is more than Mr. Trump is prepared to pay. Right?
Well,
it doesn't follow that he has more money than Mr. Trump.
Well,
you follow me?
That's true. That's true.
Eh?
That is true. That's one way of looking at it, you know. But I found it quite interesting, you know, because this gentleman has.
First of all, the question is it true? Right?
Well.
And we don't really have that evidence, do we?
Well.
All right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. All the best to you. Okay, hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning, sir. Morning, sir.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Perkins.
Morning, sir.
How are you, sir?
I am here, not too bad.
First time on your program.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes, man. Calling about the behavior of Mr. Knight and the PSC committee.
Yes.
Man, I think he's trying to make up for what he has said.
He's trying to make up for what he has said?
I said about the Prime Minister.
Oh.
As a man, his behavior, man, trust me, that man has nothing about him.
Yes.
He has no behavior whatsoever. How can you get up and behave like that, talking as if he has some done?
He has nothing about... He has what about him?
He has nothing about him, man.
Oh?
Yes, man. And another thing, you know, the state where the country is in right now, trust me. Well, Mr. Perkins is the only God one can help us out of it right now. Because the PNP, they need to go.
Why do you think they need to go?
Mr. Perkins, look at your track record, sir. Look at your track record.
Well, what do you see about their track record?
Mr. Perkins, come on, you know all about it, man. Look, even then I did a Trafigura.
Trafigura?
She can't even, the leader, she can't even manage. Trust me, Mr. Perkins. They have no formal leadership or anything in there, man.
Oh, Lord.
As a young man, Mr. Perkins, a young man, I would never ever think of voting for the People's National Party anytime. Reading the...
Well, you know, so the People's National Party thinks that it is best for the country, it always is best for the country, for them to form the administration.
But remember...
So anything that will lead them or cause them to be in office, they regard as being best for the country, and in the best interest of the country.
Remember what Mr. Twait has said.
Mr. who?
Mr. Twait.
Yes.
They have transferred the wealth from the poor to the rich.
Oh, well. Yes.
Right? They don't care about the suffering people. Look at the roads. Our information minister. He drive on this road down here in his constituency and he don't even realize that. Trust me, the roads down here in St. Elizabeth is so bad.
Yes.
That, man, one got to think. And I would suggest to any young man who has never, or have, since they reached 19, only seen the PNP in power, we need a change. And the change is now.
Well, that is a point of view, sir. I wonder how many people in Jamaica hold it.
Well, I don't know, but from 1987, 89?
1989.
From 89 until now? Look what state the country have been in.
Yes, well, I think it is hard to deny that this country is in an appalling state. That in many ways it was better off in 89 than it is now.
Mr. Perkins, to be honest with you, I'm a young man and I'm thinking about leaving,
You're thinking of leaving?
Yes, man. Yes, man.
Oh?
Look, election due. They postponed it for 6 months. They postponed it for another year. What next?
Oh, the Parish Council elections?
Yes.
Yes. Well?
What are they going to do next? crime, it is so high in the country. And we need to think as Jamaicans.
You need to do what?
We need to think as Jamaicans, man.
Huh.
We need to think, man.
Yes, well.
So anyway, Mr. Perkins.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
God bless you.
All the best to you. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hi, hello. How are you?
I just phoned back to clarify a few matters.
You get what?
I just phoned back to clarify a few matters. I lived in Jamaica from 1965 to 1980. Okay? Are you listening, sir?
I beg your pardon?
I'm just saying, the chap who was criticizing earlier on, I'm just clarifying a few matters.
Yes.
I lived in Jamaica from 1965 to 1980. All my principles I learned in Jamaica. I attended Penang Technical and CARS. Are you there?
I heard you.
Right.
Well, I thought you said you'd left here when you were 9.
Jamaica 20 times. I used to run businesses in Jamaica. I am not genetically connected.
You used to run a business in Jamaica?
Anybody. I'm 50 years old. So that chap who phoned, he can have my I'll phone him and talk to him directly.
All right. Thank you very much. All the best to you. We take a break. We come back shortly. Okay. Thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm a person who really listens to you.
Beg your pardon?
I'm somebody who listens to you almost every day.
You do?
Yes, almost every day.
Oh, thanks for that.
I find you to be...
You have nothing better to do with your time?
I don't know if you believe I could find anything better to do, but according to me, I tell you, the program that you are running, it is like a school. You know, when you sit and you listen, it is like you are in a school, listening to a well-learned teacher.
Oh, you're a flatterer.
No, come on, you need to accept compliments some of the time. You need to accept compliments some of the time.
Well, all right, so thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yes, my main concern is that I don't know if you are paying close attention to the quarreling that they have going on in the Public Account Committee right now.
Yes.
Because I don't see it as nothing more than a quarreling match in which it seems as if it's not going to end this year, but probably for the next decade. And we know that there are learned people there, you know, people with doctorate and things like that. And my concern is that they are saying that we have growth in the economy. And I don't know if they really know what they are talking about. Take for instance then, I don't know if growth that you may find in a woman or whatever. Don't laugh, Mr. Perkins, that's a serious thing because I'm not really making any joke because they know how to twist things. And if you are saying that there is no growth in the economy and they decide to put you to court, you need to sort out these things properly. If they decide to put you to court and twist the argument, and when it come out, they say, no man, it is the growth that you're finding a woman I was talking about. You don't believe that is possible?
No, sir. I don't think that isn't what they're thinking about.
Well, you better check it out because they are spinners.
They're hoping to persuade you.
To prove it that way.
They're hoping to the government is hoping to persuade you that things are going beautifully in Jamaica, right?
Yes.
That the economy is improving. More tourists are coming into the country. They're making more money from tourism and all this kind of thing. Exports are going up. Unemployment going down. Right?
Yes, sir.
And if they get you to believe this, they will get a 5th term.
Oh, wow.
Or,
as fool as we are. As fool as we are in Jamaica, I don't believe that we are fooled enough. Let me tell you something, Mr. Perkins. You're talking about growth. You're talking about highway. You're talking about this. I'm from the country. And where I am right now. I'm a cabinet maker.
You're what?
And I'm cabinet, build furniture and things like those.
Yes.
And I'm feeling the pinch of hell.
Yes.
When you find yourself go to the hardware to buy something, like tinner and things like those, to finish a piece of furniture.
Uh-huh.
It's difficult. It seems as if we just...
Well, the government is probably going to tell you, sir, that, things are improving. They haven't yet got to your gate. But give them the 5th term, and it will reach your gate in a short while. Right? That is the spin.
Well, I have a for Mr. Golden. And I would, if I should see him face to face, as a matter of fact, I think the message can convey to him by talking to you now.
Uh-huh.
Tell him that me say, don't focus on any criticism.
Don't focus on what?
Any criticism to criticize the PNP administration. Don't criticize them. All what he need to do when he take the platform, tell us what he is going to do, because we understand everything about the PNP party right now. So what we need to understand, what he's going to do. We are dying.
Yes.
As a matter of we are die hard, but the situation is unbearable. We just can't take it anymore. The country gone to the dark. Mr. Perkins, you always say that there is nothing good that the PNP done for any. I wouldn't even put it so blunt, but you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
I can point out to you something good that they did for me.
For who?
You willing for me to tell you?
Yes.
I'm from the country, and I raise a lot of goats.
Uh-huh.
And you know that sometimes when you it becomes difficult rain time and things like those to go to the bush to move your animal and things like those. It's difficult.
Uh-huh.
And because of this administration, you can tie your goat anywhere. Roadside, grass is available, and I congratulate them for that in a sense, because it don't give me any much problem to go to the bush to
tie. Oh, you couldn't tie your goat on the roadside before?
Well, it's not absolutely no, but it wasn't like this before. Because when you look and see grass on the roadside, this government that even prepare roads.
Oh, you mean the bush that
roadside for people.
The road banks, you mean in previous times the road banks would be cleaned?
Yes, sir.
And there wouldn't be so much for the goats to eat?
Right.
I see.
So technically now they hinder me from going into the deeps.
But mind how you tie your goat from roadside, you know. Pretty last and a man will come thief it. Hello? Oh, Lord. Can't run out. Sorry about that. Hello? Hello?
Hi, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you.
Morning to you. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Good. Tell me, the PAC. It seems to have become a joke committee, you know.
Why do you say that?
What's going on there?
Because of
the bad behavior being
Mr. KD Knight and
exhibited by Mr. Knight and Mr. Junior. Can't they be removed from the chamber?
Well, I don't know. I don't think they can be removed.
Doesn't the chairman have any authority to sanction?
I'm not sure.
That's why I'm saying it's a joke committee, because they will mash up the thing and nothing can happen.
Well, I think that what is happening, you know, as I was saying earlier on, if you have a strong argument, right, you don't go making a lot of noise and you know, calling people names and all this kind of thing. You put forward your argument and expect people to be persuaded by it.
But this is supposed
to be right?
This is supposed to be a serious committee.
Yes, well, but the problem that Mr. Knight and Mr. Junior seem to me to be betraying is that they haven't got strong arguments, right?
Well, this is the point I'm making. They're supposed to be searching for truth.
Well, but they also have partisan interest, right? The Trafiguras the Scandals White House is an embarrassment to the government.
Yes, but this committee...
And what they are naturally inclined to do is to try to save the government as much embarrassment as they possibly can.
But I've never seen this committee like this before.
Well...
It's just since Night and June has gone on to it that this comedy is taking place.
Well...
Because this is supposed to be a serious committee trying to honor truth.
I should have thought so.
They're not achieving anything, Mr. Perkins. And they need to look into it. There should be some sanction. The chairman, the poor chairman, they gavel and not. They just keep mashing up the place.
Well,
I don't know.
That is what they're trying to do their best to save their party embarrassment.
They should be.
But on the other hand, if people are looking at this, then one wonders whether they are not causing greater embarrassment. Well, I don't know.
Well, that's another matter, Mr. Perkins. Because they're looking to see what has happened to $48 million.
Well.
And that is what they want to find out.
And I heard Mr. Butch Stewart saying yesterday that it's going to be more. $43 million, whatever it is, isn't the end of it.
Right.
US dollars.
Right.
That's not the end of it because the hotel isn't properly completed.
The place is not finished.
Yes.
I don't know the matter, Mr. Perkins.
Hold on just a moment for me. Okay. Thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello?
Mr. Perkins, all I'm saying is that the PAC should have some teeth. The chairman should be able to cite the obstructionists for contempt.
Yes.
Or they won't be able to get anything done. And I think if the chairman doesn't have this
yes, but now, it's all being played out before the Jamaican people. And
but they're not getting to the
ultimately
truth.
they are the judges of political right and wrong.
But they're not achieving anything, so they're not getting to the truth. What happened to the $48 million? That's what they want to find out, and these people are obstructing. Next thing, sir.
But some information is coming out.
The PIOJ this morning, in a report, said exports have grown 31%.
Oh, God, yes.
9 months. They also said that the country has had 3% growth in the economy.
Yeah. It's gone up to 3%.
Yes. Agriculture, it said, has grown 20% for the year.
Yes.
Tourism has grown 15 to 20%. Remittances are also up. Then if all these positives are there, Mr. Perkins,
yes,
why is the Jamaican dollar under so much pressure?
Well, that is a good question.
Why is there the continuous devaluation if we are earning so much US dollars? I don't understand it.
Well,
something doesn't add up.
The pressure arises from the fact, sir, that in coming up to the election, I suppose, they want to bring down interest rates to create an impression that things are better in the economy. And as Professor Stephen Hankey said in a paper he wrote for the PSOJ some years ago, whenever in the conditions of the Jamaican economy, whenever the government lowers interest rates, there's going to be pressure on the dollar.
Yes.
Right?
But
no. And it is easy to understand why. But
there are all these feel-good.
Yes, the fact of the matter is, you're absolutely right. If the economy is growing, the country is earning more, right?
Yes.
Then one would expect to see the pressure on the dollar lessen.
Of course.
Right?
So
but it is not happening.
No.
That way.
So you start to wonder.
And, well, I don't know.
3% 3 million tourists. Where's all this tourist money?
Well, I tell you something. In a moment, you might be hearing that it's 10 million.
Mr. Perkins, I don't know. You don't know what to believe again because
look, sir,
the numbers are not adding up.
I've been telling you for a long time that their mantra is, if you can't make it, fake it.
Oh my God, sir. But everybody out here are not idiots. Everybody out here is not an idiot. So why
maybe what they're hoping is that there will be sufficient number of idiots to guarantee them the fifth term.
The dollar is very much on its way to 68, you know.
Yes.
I see the DOJ in a half-hearted way sometimes they come out and say the thing. But they said they were building up this massive reserves to defend the dollar.
You realize, sir.
So why are they not defending the dollar?
You realize that this defense of the dollar is a form of subsidy to people who are going into putting their money into US dollars, right? Because they are afraid of the consequences of keeping it in Jamaican dollars.
But with all these things happening, so why should they be afraid? Exports up 31%, 3% growth in the economy, 20% growth in agriculture,
the dollar is
tourism growth 15 to 20%. These are all US dollar earnings, you know.
Yes.
So why should anybody be afraid? But it's just that it doesn't seem to be happening. These are only words.
Yes. But if you have $1 million in a bank account in Jamaica, right?
Keeps going down.
As the dollar slips,
it keeps going down.
It keeps going down, you know.
Yes.
Yes, all right.
Keeps going down. All right, Mr. Perkins, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, hello? 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 What in heaven's name is good? Why are we... Hello? No. Hello? No?
Yes.
Yes? All right. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Oh, you fell asleep. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
You're calling from overseas?
Yeah, hello?
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Yes, Mr. Perkins. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Well, good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling to say after 18 years in government and you have people being turned away from hospital, what have you achieved? Is there any achievement?
Well, sir, we're getting some news coming out now, purporting that the achievements are now coming. The tourism industry, has more and more tourists coming in, record numbers this year, right?
Yes, sir.
Over 3 million. The exports have gone up 31% in 9 months, right? So these are the achievements.
And the economy is set to take off.
Oh, the economy is taking off. No, it's no longer poised for takeoff. It's taking off now.
Okay.
And rising, So we haven't achieved very much in the past 18 years, but now is the time the achievement is occurring.
But you have achieved
so just vote us back in and the achievement will continue. Right?
I mean, they should have 3 million tourists. Where is all that foreign exchange going to?
Well, one of the...
is it in the country, coming in the country?
I don't know, sir. One of the problems of that, you see, is that there are hotel businesses that operate on the basis that they have offices, let us say, in the United States, right? And they tourist goes to that office, or the agent calls that office and makes arrangement, right? And a payment is made to that office. Now that money doesn't necessarily come to Jamaica, right? Or as much of it as is necessary here. And they will say, well, that sum of money doesn't necessarily come to Jamaica, right? Some of it comes, not all.
So they are just boasting on the visitors, but I mean, anybody can come to Jamaica, but I'm talking about the foreign exchange and the money being spent in Jamaica and you know, trying to develop the country. And trying to make the lives of Jamaicans.
Well, there's no development occurring in the Jamaican economy, you know. So I hear a lot of discussions going on about the economy, right? And the impression I have is that you have an old donkey cart, right?
Yeah.
With all the defects and limitations of an old donkey cart. And that is what the discussions are about. How to get the donkey cart performing better than it is now, you know. The donkey not walking so good, and some of the boards are not in, and the wheel, and we're trying to straighten all those out and get the donkey cart. What is not being discussed is how do we get from the old donkey cart to a modern 21st century motor vehicle.
That's true.
Right? That is not what is being discussed in Jamaica. And all these supposed economic experts are telling us all these wonderful things about how, you know, the donkey cart is looking better. It still needs a coat of paint, but that is coming up, you know. And the donkey has a bit of a sore hoof, but we're hoping that will be cured in a matter of some days, and that the cart will be able to move around again, you know. But nobody is going into how do we move from this old donkey cart situation to a modern utility vehicle.
You know, Mr. Perkins, I think the Jamaican government, or the PMP government, is doing a great job in limiting educational opportunity for the Jamaican people, as to keep them down in poverty, and to brainwash them continuously.
Well,
because an educated society is like a man walking without a head.
Yes. Yes, I'm afraid that there's a lot of truth in what you're saying, sir.
Human beings, and stop playing tribal politics.
I think people need to start seeing themselves as Jamaicans, right?
Right.
And seeing the betterment of Jamaica as the important objective. And that if I want to be better off, one way of looking at it is that if Jamaica is better off, I'm going to be better off. Right?
Exactly, sir. Well, Mr. Perkins, thank you for your time. And
all right, sir.
Good day, sir.
Thank you very much. Nice hearing from you. Okay, hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Good morning. You have the radio on there.
Hello, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir, good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Happy New Year, sir. All of this.
Oh, thank you very much. Same to you.
All right. Yes, Mr. Perkins, I'm listening to the news this morning, read this tourism thing and this 3 million visitors. What is filtering down to the poor workers in the industry?
What is filtering down to them?
Right. You know that these people don't get if they take home 150 US for the fortnight, they take home plenty.
Is that so?
I'm telling you, because I used to be in the industry. The average hotel worker starts at a little bit or about minimum wage, you know. per week, you know, as his basic pay, you know.
Yes.
And what takes his money up is based on house count and gratuity, you know. And
yes, well, there's a lot of opportunity there, isn't there?
For what? They're not allowed to take
No, I mean, they're not allowed to take tips.
No.
Oh, is that so? Yes, I think I remember some time ago.
No, they're not. Maybe the Spanish people do that, but all the other hotels, you're not allowed to take tips.
Oh.
Hold
on just a moment for me. Thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm saying, you know, with all of this great achievement in the tourism industry.
Yes.
The workers, those poor workers who are telling them work hard, you know.
Uh-huh.
I think, you know, something more should be done for them.
Well, I don't know if the improvement continues long enough, something might.
You know? I mean, the North Coast, that is not housing thing for them, you know?
Uh-huh.
And they have to be paying very, very good. Most of them people pay very extra.
Yes, well, that's another matter.
So that, you know, I think that the people in the industry is what they need to care about. It's just a handful of people getting rich, you know?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how rich they're getting, sir. Or how much richer.
All right, another point, Mr. Perkins. When somebody is a caretaker in a constituency, all right, I live in Miss Parchment's constituency.
In where?
Verna Parchment constituency.
Oh, yes.
Is she still collecting a salary?
She's a member of parliament, yes, I suppose so.
Yep, but she's not here. She's not doing nothing here. Why should she be collecting a salary?
Well, I don't know. She's a member of parliament. She attends parliament.
So she collects all that money for just to attend parliament?
Well,
I mean, not she alone. I mean, I'm not putting her alone because there's a lot of them now. Huh?
But I don't know, she contributes to parliamentary debates, I suppose.
I'm saying not she alone. Let's go to A.W., Donald Buchanan, John Jr., T.D. Knight. All of those MPs are dormant now, you know. They're not doing anything, you know. All is just the caretakers is active in the constituency, you know. Why should they be collecting a salary now?
Because they're members of parliament.
Yes, that's what you say.
They are representing their people in parliament.
But in parliament doing what? What represent just what in parliament?
Well, I'm in no position to say precisely what they're doing. I haven't looked into that, but you know, from time to time they contribute to debates and so on. And they vote and this, that, and the other, and so on.
I'll collect a big salary for that, eh?
Well, their term is coming to an end, you know.
Oh, so it's bonus?
No. No, sir. But what do you think? That there should be some means of assessing an MP's performance? And what? Reducing his pay fee?
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
I don't think that will work, sir.
It will work?
No. He has the job. If he isn't doing the job, find some way of firing him.
One other thing, sir. I think the PNP has conceded defeat. I think when they elect Danny Buchanan as their general secretary, I think they have conceded defeat, you know.
Oh? How? Why?
Yes. Huh?
Why?
Oh, he's the worst person they could ever select.
Why do you think so?
Then, you know, it is happening. You just watch how he's performing. Just watch his performance.
What about his performance?
Huh?
What about his performance?
What about it?
Yes.
No, I'm saying you observe how the statements he comes about with. I'm telling Mr. Golden that is a big grandstanding, you know, because the traffic guru called to him maybe was a big grandstanding too.
Yes. Well.
You remember he said the traffic guru thing was over? And when Mr. Golding come and spoke about this leader who wants to pump money into the Jamaican election, that's another one of Mr. Golding's big grandstanding.
Well, that's of the order of what they said regarding Trafigura, as you pointed out.
Yes, yes.
Do you doubt that Mr. Chavez, given his performance, given what he did in relation to Colombia and St. Lucia and I mean his generosity to Jamaica, to the Jamaican government, is it unlikely that he would sort of make some money available to the PNP?
Oh, it's not unlikely.
And if he did,
and it's not hard to pick up.
If he did, is it likely that the PNP would have refused it?
But like I said, I think they have conceded defeat, because I think at General Secretary, he's the General Secretary and campaign manager, right? The seat that he represents will be going to the JLP. I mean, that doesn't look pretty.
Who says it will be going to the JLP?
Oh, it is Mr. Tufton going to win by a landslide.
Mr. who?
Tufton.
He's going to win by a landslide?
Sure.
You're sure of that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well. If it is so, it is so.
All right, Mr. Perkins, you
all right, sir.
Hold the string.
Thank you very much. All the best to you. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Mr. Perkins?
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, Mr. Perkins, I never know the cannibal, some are Jamaican. Them
you never know so?
I never know Jamaican, people in Jamaica are cannibal.
Cannibal?
Yes, he eat different kind of animal. Last night, Mr. Perkins, I saw on television where a old man have one donkey and then kill the donkey in which part him tie the donkey and
them thief the donkey. Them thief the donkey and them find him.
No, them kill the donkey and
yes, the donkey butchered. Butchered.
Yeah.
And the meat carried away.
Yes, sir.
Yes. But that is not cannibal.
Mr. Perkins, may I feel laugh and me?
No.
Man say donkey
No, hold on a little bit. I know you're going to talk about cannibal, Because next thing, cannibal is a man who eat man.
Yeah. I forgot then we eat different. But they eat different animals, Mr. Perkins.
They eat what?
Cannibal is a man who eat man.
Yes, but what makes him a cannibal is the fact that he eat man.
But I saw show a man eat different kind of wild animal,
No. So be careful how you talk about cannibal,
Yeah.
Because a whole heap of man are dead and you might go put into somebody the idea of eating man.
You're right, but the donkey they eat. I just imagine where some of them eat the small Mr. Perkins. And the man said the donkey pregnant, The old man.
Yes.
The one donkey they have, so the man have.
I saw this thing on the news last night. It really was horrible.
I couldn't believe Mr. Perkins.
Yes.
Oh Lord. Students can't get work hard not to do?
Well, I imagine so. But things are looking up. The economy is taking off,
The rest of them, sister. I don't believe that, Mr. Perkins.
You don't believe it?
No.
Oh, boy.
So much people are suffer, so too much. You have a lot of people
suffering. You know why you don't believe it? Because you're so negative.
No, because the condition of the country, Mr. Perkins. People might meet it hard, sir. If people might feel it, sir.
People feel it?
Yes. I don't know work, not at all.
Yes.
I can't believe that.
Yes, and man a thief and butcher donkey.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Very hard, Mr. Perkins. Oh, Lord.
Boy.
Anyway, that's all I say.
Them so thief and kill dog.
Our dog, sir.
And sell it, says goat.
And sell it. Goat meat, mutton. Anyway, Mr. Perkins, see you. Thank you.
Okay, my darling. All the best to you. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Mr. Perkins?
Yes, sir?
First time on the program, sir.
What?
First time on the program.
First time, and you've come rather late.
Okay.
It's just a couple of minutes to 12 o'clock.
Just one quick point, Mr. Perkins. Just one quick point.
Yes.
What usually happens in Jamaica, sir?
What I believe is happening here? Well, a lot of things are happening. Like what do you have in mind?
No, the PNP government, the other day, They use the pollster to check people. And because the pollster not working, you see them turn to the prophet now.
Speak up a bit.
I say, them use the pollster to check us. But the pollster is not working, so what them turn to the prophet now.
Oh, I see.
What do you think about that, sir?
You know, you're a clever fellow. The poll is not working.
Yeah.
So they're using the prophet.
Yeah.
It's not you suggested the idea to them.
Sir?
It wasn't you who suggested the idea to them.
I would never do a thing like that, sir.
Eh?
I would never do a thing like that. I was just waiting for the day to see them back.
Why? But that is a very bright idea. They try the pollster.
Yeah.
The pollster not working.
Yeah.
So they try the prophet.
You try the prophet. You think that will work, sir?
I remember, you know.
Yeah?
You remember what Sister P said?
Yeah.
That she was sent by God.
Yeah.
And therefore it was the duty of every Christian to support her.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes, I remember well.
Okay. So these Christian prophets are coming forward now.
Yeah, but that won't work either.
Eh?
That won't work either.
That won't work?
No, sir.
Boy,
the worst thing is that before you got name, sir.
Yes.
That's one of the worst things you could ever do.
You know, we must have respect for God, you know.
Of course.
Yes. God deserves our respect.
Anyway, I feel them upon the wrong track.
Eh?
I feel them upon the wrong track.
You feel them upon the wrong?
Them upon the wrong track.
Well, we shall see. What we shall see. All right?
Okay, Mr. Perkins.
Thank you very much. Okay, that brings us to just about time for the news. We'll be back here in about 20 minutes. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online, and we go directly to our telephones. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Happy New Year, Mutty. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Dalva.
That's my name, sir.
Yes, how are you?
Well, I don't know how happy the year is, but problems from 2006 move into 2007. And it seems like your program is one of the few programs that we get in response to the problems in Portland.
Oh, is that so?
And I have, among other things, two pressing ones that I would like to raise with you. One of them was on television the other night, which is the condition of the roads.
Yes. Well, that has been on television and elsewhere for quite some time.
I can tell you something, Mutty, and I have confirmed it. I thought it was just in my mind that in my 30-odd years of traveling to Portland from a youngster, that this is the worst that the roads have ever been. But during the Christmas season, quite a number of people, contemporaries of mine, either went down there for a day or for some period of time, inclusive of a very big party that was held out there, where there was, I would say 300 people, and most of them from Kingston.
Yes. And
the complaint I got from all of them was the same, that they were traumatized, is the word they used. Inclusive a minister of government, who I will not name, who asked me whether or not it wouldn't be better to drive back through St. Thomas, because he himself could not take driving back through the junction route back to Kingston.
Well, I tell you, Mr. Vaz, I grew up in Portland, right? And apart from that, I started driving a car somewhere about 1950, right? And I have driven all over this country. And my experience tells me that the roads in Jamaica have never, in all that time, been in the condition in which I see them today.
Mutty, let me tell you something. I travel there maybe 2-3 times a week.
Yes.
And I can tell you that a normal trip for me, starting at Manor Park, which is where I say I start,
yes,
usually takes me about 1 hour and 45 minutes if I'm going to Sansan, which is outside of Portland.
Yes.
Or 145. That was up to 3-4 months ago. Well, that trip is taking you between 2.5 and 3 hours. Now, as close as yesterday, a friend of mine who went down there called me back last night to tell me. Now, it's two things. First of all, as you know, that's the only access to Portland. And it's already a terrible traverse if you are coming from Kingston or Montego Bay or wherever as a tourist. Yes?
Yeah.
And now, I can tell you that it is as bad as the point of where people who own homes, weekend homes down there, don't even want to go down there for a weekend because of the road conditions to get in there.
Yes.
Port Antonio, Mutty, is a consistent traffic jam. From you reach out at Boundbrook to when you exit to go out to Folly.
Yes.
Because the roads are so bad that you have to come to a complete...
In the town itself?
Mutty, in front of the police station, the Port Antonio police station.
Yes.
It's craters, I call them. And then, I don't know if it's ironic or what, but in front of the Member of Parliament's office, which is what was shown the other night, is again craters to the point of where you have to come to a complete stop and you have to inch your way down into the hole and inch your way back out. If not, you mash up your car on the spot. And it's not that it has been yesterday or day before or a month or 2 or 3.
Yes.
I give credence to the fact that NWC has done some work, yes. That is one part of it. But the bottom line is that the roads into Portland now are so deplorable that it is now a definite turn-off to the taximen to go there from other parts of the thing to carry tourists in there. And I can't even tell you about the residents and the taximen. It is, let me tell you, Mutty, I promise you, I don't think, as you said, it has been worse in history.
Yes, it's very bad now.
It is, I mean...
And even in the days, so when we had some side roads, you know, off the main roads, not asphalted, they were still in better condition than they are now.
But you know, Mutty, I made mention of something, and people say that I'm being unreasonable. When you are going to get a grant from the European Union of 80 million euro, $6.4 billion approximately,
yes,
and you are going to do this grand North Coast Highway leg from Ocherius to Port Antonio, with the conditions of the interior roads, because these roads that we're talking about are and will be fixed in time to come, whether or not in the year and a half, whenever. But they can't stay as they are until then. So they're going to have to spend some money on them. If not, I mean, you might as well just write off Portland as a parish. Take it off of the map.
Hold on just a moment for me. Thank you very much. We're back here on land.
Yes, Mutty. When you're spending $6.4 billion on a North Coast Highway leg from Ocherius to Portland,
yes,
and you have the interior roads in the condition that they are,
yes,
in the parish of Portland, to the point of where, since 2004, there still are roads that are cut off up in the Buff Bay Valley towards Newcastle, section, Cascade, Regale and such areas, where people have to be driving through farm roads and under the most treacherous conditions. Something must be wrong with the planning and the thought process.
Well, I tell you something, we have priorities mixed up in this
completely
country, right? When you think about the highways that are being constructed, how many people on an average day, use one of those highways? On the other hand, how many people on an average day use one of those roads, country roads, very often, that I mean, the road that passes their house, that take them to where the shop is and
Absolutely.
so on. Right?
Absolutely.
How many people are using such roads? And when such roads are in deplorable condition, is there not more suffering than had the highway been absent?
But
right? A man called me, sir. A man called me, and it's not just in Portland that this is going on, right? A man called me and told me about having come from Mandeville to 6 miles in an hour and a quarter. And it took him an hour and a half to get to New Kingston. Right? And
that's like the Portmore toll road.
Absolutely.
Where you drive on it and you go through and you drive lovely for 10-15 minutes.
Yes.
And you come into the bottleneck right at Marcus Garvey.
Absolutely.
And the trip is over.
But no. The bottleneck is not at Marcus Garvey now. The bottleneck is just after you pass the toll booth.
Because it's back right up. But I'm not knocking the highway, Don't get me wrong, because any developing country needs a good infrastructure, a good road network, But I'm just saying.
But that does not necessarily mean, sir.
Absolutely.
A highway that will take you from Kingston to Montego Bay in an hour and a half. When you have fewer people going to Montego Bay or coming from Montego Bay in a day, and hundreds, thousands more in Kingston not being able to get to where they're going.
Don't talk about Kingston. Every township is the same.
Yes.
Because there's been no planning in relation to how you deal with the development of the country. Because Montego Bay, as nice as the highways, I mean, you pass Rosehall heading out and you pass...
Well, let me ask you something, Mr. Ball.
Montego Bay is good luck.
Is there any development of the country going on?
I'm Mutty. That is a...
I keep saying that when I hear these economists discussing, what is going on in the country, it sounds to me like we are talking about how to fix a donkey cart and get it sort of painted up and looking good and so on. But not how to move from the level of a donkey cart to the level of a modern motorized vehicle.
I'm going to come back to Portland, but I just want to share something with that other discussion the other night.
Yes.
And it's on the heels of the announcement of the great tourism boom that we've had.
Yes.
And everybody's celebrating.
3 million visitors.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean,
anything
positive is good for Jamaica.
Yes.
But you imagine that Jamaica, which they said, and I still believe is a jewel of the Caribbean, okay? And you're talking about a place like Jamaica that you try to attract high-end tourists for the Round Hill and the Portland and those areas.
We used to have them.
And you have one single charter helicopter, which hold 5 people to service both the business and the tourism sector of Jamaica.
Yes.
One single helicopter that holds 5 people. They can barely hold 2 bags. So the truth of the matter is that you're limited. Anybody who wants to come here as a high-end tourist and spend big money based on how they are accustomed to moving around.
Yes.
We just put in a private jet service in Montego Bay and celebrated last year.
Yes.
This is something that every other little island have 10 and 15 of these all around the place.
Well, what has happened to the Ken Jones Airport?
Oh my goodness. I'm still waiting. I saw Mr. Dennis Morrison over the Christmas, and he assured me that he and I would be meeting because my letter that I wrote to the Prime Minister that I'm very misinformed, and he has a lot to clear up with me. So I'm still pushing on that, and that to me is the savior. But I'm just going to mention one last thing to you, Mutty, which is really the main reason why I called. I got a call yesterday from my councillors in Portland to say that the secretary manager was transferred to St. Catherine, and the St. Catherine Parish secretary manager was due to come to Portland on the 2nd of January. Well, from the 2nd to yesterday, Nobody came and nobody knew anything. So the business of the parish council and the people of Portland were on hold from January 2nd to the 9th yesterday, 1 week.
Yes.
He came yesterday and spent the day and informed the parish council when he was leaving that he would not be returning today because he was taking up an appointment at the Ministry of Local Government on the 15th.
Oh.
Now, you talk about planning and you talk about development. This is the start of a brand new year. This move was not overnight. It was well planned and thought out because these things happen in the civil service where you transfer from A to B and B to C.
Yes.
And for this year, despite, except for one day, which is yesterday, and for the foreseeable future, nobody can give me an answer as to what is the situation with the secretary manager, which you know is the equivalent of a permanent secretary or a managing director in a company, whatever it is, because nothing can happen. And we already know the problems that we're having in Portland with the garbage, pile up, with the roads, with everything else. And the people of Portland are left there now to wait until the minister or the permanent secretary or somebody sort out
who to send
and when to send, when that should be something that is in place and they shouldn't skip a beat.
Well, what is the idea of this transfer?
I think
why move these people if they're happy where they are?
I'm not sure whether it's a administrative or how I don't know if it's a systemic thing or what. I'm not sure. But the point is, Mutty, I'm just highlighting to you at a time like this, at the beginning of a year.
Yes.
And the Ministry of Local Government can't even work out where a transition from one to the other is done.
Yes.
In a smooth process without interrupting the activities of the parish council, which are to serve the local people of Portland. So it just, it's just getting from bad to worse. I promise you it is. It's disaster.
The people of this country, sir, are not respected by authority, you know. The people in power, they have no respect for the people of Jamaica. Not just the people of Portland. Margaret Morris keeps writing and talking about the dust nuisance down there in St. Anne. Right? The people are suffering from all the dust blowing in their houses and they're breathing it in and all this kind of thing. Similar thing is going on in St. Elizabeth. Right?
I saw it on TV, don't I?
Yes.
And Portland the same, because NWC has done some work in St. Margaret's Bay and NWA and in Port Antonio, and they leave the dirt on the side and the dust, and then what happens is that when the holes get bad enough, they send some mal, patch it out with some mal, the first shower of rain, and when it's not raining, the dust is blowing.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. The people will have to decide, because I tell you something, this cannot continue. And the new slogan for the PNP is, we don't put people first, we put potholes first. Have a good day.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. All the best to you.
See if we can put some pressure to hear what's happening with the secretary manager. Maybe they'll answer you.
Okay.
God bless.
Okay, I wonder if the minister, I think he's the subject of an editorial in today's Gleaner, is he? I wonder if he will come and tell us what is going on there and why the secretary manager of Portland Parish Council should have been taken away, and nobody, in effect, from what Mr. Vaz is saying, nobody sent to replace him, or somebody sent to replace him, who has come to tell them that he won't be available. He's going to a post in the ministry. Okay, hello. Incidentally, I heard in the news, I forgot earlier on to mention it, that the Minister of Justice and Attorney General Senator, what's his name, is supporting the idea or saying something to the effect that the government is thinking of legislation to increase the age of retirement of persons in the judiciary and the Directorate of Public Prosecutions from 70 to some higher age. There is a particular person, I remember some time ago hearing that there was a call session in the Supreme Court, and that a certain judge used the occasion to say that that them got tired for seeing face, and that the expectation that he would be resigning, would be leaving office in this month, would be disappointed, and that he knew that there were 3 persons who were going to have heart attack when them see him there in January. And he was a man that likes attending funerals, and he was looking forward to attending their funerals. Well, I gather that he is approaching his 70th birthday and has about a year of leave stacked up. So is this legislation I mean, the legislation has been in place for some time and has been having its effect, and nobody has thought of amending it. Is he the object of this proposed amendment, so that we can have him for a bit longer? So we can get more war. For war no want. Okay, we take a break. We come back in a moment. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello? Hello? What in heaven's name is going on? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon,
How are you doing, Mr. Perkins? Yeah, calling from overseas.
Oh, yes, welcome.
Columbus, Ohio.
Where from?
Yeah, no. Well, I'm a Jamaican.
Yes. That's recognizable.
2 years now, listen. First time caller, but I've been listening to you now
this is your
for
first call.
17 years.
Well, I'm so happy to have you.
Yeah. So how you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
For the new year so far?
Well, so we've had some frightening experiences for the new year.
They listen to. And they listen and they read it and they get a whole for bad news.
Yes, I think that there must be nearly 40 persons already murdered since the year began.
Well, I know two of them. My family actually have a business, and 2 of them in my community that called me and tell me that they got shot.
Oh, is that so?
Anything on the cleaner, and
yes.
One died Monday and one died yesterday.
A couple of policemen have been knocked off, and a number of others shot. And we're here.
That story like the brother that called you from Florida, you have to run when you get the chance on down the ties. A little easy up here.
Yes.
Yeah, my wife has been going here school here a couple of years, and I'm up here now almost 2 years. Much easier, man, much easier.
Much easier?
I tell you any lie. Much easy, a million times.
Easier than in Jamaica?
A million times, Mutty.
A million times?
Yeah.
My God.
That's why, yeah, man. Just call for you up and thing. One day, I'm gonna often talk about the problems in my country, the pastor says, so one day I want to call you and talk to you. Living can change you.
Okay. All right.
All the questions and what me hear, you ask most of the time, I know pastor can answer them. I ask him, and he usually gives me some nice reasonable answers, so more area and him straight them out.
All right, whenever you're ready.
All right, Mutty.
Okay.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you very much, and the very same to you.
I'm listening almost every day. I'm listening for 17 years now, and thanks for
yes?
guidance.
Oh, Lord.
I get told for a while, I'm going to try to straighten it, you know? So I can stay here and then come visit or something.
Okay. And have a happy new year.
And thanks a lot. Yes,
okay.
do a good work.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Don't make nobody stray off of the path while you're there.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello? Oh? Hello? Hello? Oh. I gather we have either everybody has hung up or tired of waiting or their cards have run out. Oh Lord. But the economy is improving, you know. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, how are you, Mr. Perkins?
Not too bad, how are you?
Right here. All the best for the 207, sir.
Eh?
All the best for the 207.
You think that the best is going to be available in 207? For those of us living here?
Well, Marcus Garvey said with the 2-7s clash, the song that he pambamba here, with the 2-7s clash. Well, this is the 77th year of His Majesty's coronation.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, maybe this is the clashing of the 2-7s, eh?
I see. Well, we shall see.
And we have the third 7 here now, the 207, so the 3-7s clash, eh? So we just have to watch and see, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so what do you see for the new year, Mr. Perkins?
What do I see for the new year?
What do you see on the horizon?
Boy, I don't know. You tell me what you see for the new year.
Well, I hear the plane is on the runway, ready to take off.
You mean that's the economy?
Yeah.
Yes.
You see it that way?
Well, I mean, I hear it from some eminent scholars, sir, like Mr. Greenspin.
Okay.
And, yes, he's a man who speaks on the basis of empirical evidence. And he says, the economy is about to take off.
I guess that is gospel then, eh?
Eh?
That's what's the gospel.
And yes, and I see all sorts of prophets are making all sorts of prophecies.
Who you hear? Which prophet is that?
Oh, there's one prophet in the Gleaner today saying that number of things. I can't remember whether he mentions the economy specifically. I believe so. But the 5th term is on. And there's a talk show host who is on his way out.
The World Cup cricket, no?
I beg your pardon?
World Cup cricket.
Not hearing you.
World Cup cricket.
World Cup cricket?
Yes.
Yes, what about it?
That's supposed to have the plane take off.
Well, I don't know. I wonder very seriously whether World Cup cricket might not turn out to be a disaster.
I hope not.
I hope not. But if it does, it would not surprise me.
So how do you think Miss Sister P doing?
Sister P?
Sister P. How do you think she doing?
I get the impression that she's not doing. I say, it is my impression, sir, that she is not doing.
Oh, she's not doing?
Yes.
No, but she's not a talker, she's a doer.
She's a doer?
Yes.
So she tells us.
Well,
it's very odd, you know. She's not a talker. She's a doer. But you have come to that conclusion as a result of her talking. Not as a result of her doing.
Well,
am I right?
Yeah, well, Mr. Perkins, I'm looking for the best.
You're looking for the best?
Yeah,
but hold on now. How did you come to the conclusion or to the view that she is a doer and not a talker? Was it she who told you so?
Yes.
So it is by her talk, not by her doing, that you came to that conclusion.
Well, I've been in communication by letter to her from the Church of Rastafari.
Yes.
And I got a reply to her, to my communications from her.
Oh, you did get a reply?
Yes, and she's telling me in the letter where she's looking forward to an early resolution of the issue sincerely.
Of which issue?
The issue regarding the church's diplomatic credentials and travel documents.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So, I am eagerly awaiting, I replied to her letter from her office. And I'm here looking for that early resolution to the issue.
And how long ago was that?
Sincerely. Well, that was just before Christmas, and
I see.
Everything shut down in Jamaica in Christmas New Year, so it's a new year now.
Yes.
So I know what needs to be done. With or without their support.
Yes.
And I have...
And you know that you have a door.
Well, I'm looking for what to be done.
House.
I'm anticipating what to be done.
Yes.
Because, I'm extending the olive branch.
Yeah, I see.
To the government. Looking for them to do the best towards the nation.
Yes.
And if it's not done, I will have no alternative but to let them see the plane taking off without them.
I see.
Because the plane I could have taken off already, Mutty.
Yes. Well, let me ask you something. This government has had 18 years in which to make the plane take off.
Yes.
And the plane is still grounded.
No.
But every year, the last 18.
Yes.
I think, I haven't researched it, but this is my recollection, that every year of the past 18, we have heard that the plane is about to take off.
True.
But it can't take off yet.
The plane line up from 87. The plane line up to take off from 87.
89.
No, 87. That's when the Bill of Rights was presented to the nation. And the alternative union policy was signed off.
I follow you.
So the plane line up from 87. So as a person in executive portfolio.
Yes.
Within the Church of Rastafari. Having the right organ, the International Trust.
Yes.
Now as the organ to represent the credentials and the legitimacy of the church universally worldwide.
Yes.
I am just being very courteous to the government of Jamaica and offering them, this olive branch. Because I have seen the best regards for all of my brothers and sisters here in the island especially and worldwide for suffering humanity.
Yes.
And I know we can work together, and I'm positive because I know how rich the culture of Rastafari is and what vast resources and wealth are now coming into the church. And it's hundreds of billions of dollars hard currency, if not trillions. And, I understand that the Church of Rastafari has to do the good 100 times better than the good that they're doing to be accepted.
I see.
And that's what we have done. Because I know there's a lot of mafiaism running on here with all the, all different races are here and everybody have their mafia. And them circle. And them society. And them, it's chum change they're dealing with. Chum change.
I see.
None of them can come up with 500 billion. No, they can't come up with that kind of money. And that's the kind of money the Church of Rastafari is giving because we own the Lion of Judah trademark.
I see.
And this is not something to be, joke around with or anything like that. This is the future of mankind. This is the future of humanity.
Depends upon the Church of Rastafari.
No, the Line of Judah trademark, which the Church of Rastafari owns.
The Line of what?
Judah trademark.
Oh.
You know, 1978, when Pope John Paul had the multi-billion-dollar bribe rip-off to depose His Majesty from the throne and remove the Lion of Judah out of the flag of Ethiopia.
I see.
It's only the Coptic Church of Alexandria, the Coptic Church of Egypt, and the Judah Coptic Church here in Jamaica that did not sign on that multi-billion-dollar bribe rip-off. And due to how the Church of Rastafari is intact, with that credential, unquestionable, it's, you know, and intellectual property rights.
Thank you very much. You'll have to go to a break. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you very much. We're back online. Hello? Okay, we have some emails we're going to read for you.
Yes, Mr. Perkins. Dear Mr. Perkins, as a young man 30 years ago, I left a job with the St. Catherine Health Department to join the prison service. I lasted 2 years. At that time, in spite of a better wage... This was one of the most cruel and corrupt jobs I have ever had in all my life. The cruelty of the inmates and the attitude of the warders at that time still haunt my memory today. For one, the senior officers indicated that I was out of a place in that job. I heard a caller recently. I cannot help but wonder, what is happening to my Jamaican brothers and sisters who are in prison? Some for crimes they commit and some for crimes because of poor representation. The United States has the second largest prison population. China has the largest. In the United States, a disproportionate amount of people are of color. Are of color. A disproportionate amount of people are of color in incarceration. The prison industrial complex is big business in America. Big companies are using prisoners for a legal type of slave labor. The huge assembly plants and labor force is paid 25 US cents a day.
Look here, you know what that reminds me of? There's an item in the papers this morning about this Jamaican man who was driving a refrigerated truck from Mexico into the United States, I think, from somewhere down in Central America into the United States. There were some people being smuggled in this truck, and a number of them died because of the conditions in the truck. And this man has been charged with murder and convicted. And the jury is now being asked to decide whether he should be given the death penalty. Now, this strikes me as amazing. I don't see how you and I can agree. I will smuggle you into the country and you agree to hide in the refrigerated section of the truck. It works out that, it was an unwise thing to do, and you die. And I'm going to be charged with murder. I didn't think I don't see how that could be murder. When two of us agree to do something, and it happens that, one of us dies as a consequence of that thing. Well, I don't know. Anyway, and certainly if murder not deserving of the death penalty, I should have thought.
Mr. Perkins,
yes.
I don't think you should pay much attention to that so-called prophet and his predictions in today's paper. First of all, the item was topped off by a beautiful photograph of the said prophet hugging up the Prime Minister. What else could you expect? The only thing that surprised me is the animus towards you.
Towards me?
Remember...
He didn't mention me.
Remember, Mutty, the female of the species is more dangerous than the male. There is no one more venomous than a rejected lover.
Oh, no.
Be careful.
No, don't say that. No, I was not mentioned in it. I mean, they spoke of a talk show host. Anyway.
Mr. Wilmot Perkins, good morning to you. I write to inform you about the contemptuous state of the conditions that currently exist at the Spanish Town Hospital. I took my mother to her private doctor and was given a letter to take her to the hospital for admission because he suspected her kidneys needed further investigation. Her abdomen and legs were very swollen. We arrived at about 5 p.m. and my mother couldn't walk due to the swelling of her feet. We opted for a wheelchair. They took time to find one, but eventually we went to the emergency area where she was assessed by the doctor and sent to the screening doctor. When we went to that area, the doctor was not there, but we were informed that he would soon be there. When he came, I went to speak to him at the entrance, and I was told to enter from the wheelchair. I spoke to him at the entrance that I was told to enter from the wheelchair, could not access it. She probably means because the wheelchair could not access it.
Yes.
He did not even look at my mother, but instead looked at the referral from my doctor. It's badly typed. And gave me a small piece of green paper to get registered. I was later given a white paper to get her blood pressure, temperature, and urine tested. The nurse did the blood pressure and the temperature, but to get the urine to be tested, I had to get my mom to the bathroom. There was no porter to assist me, and the longer I took to get the urine is the longer she will take to get attended to. I pushed my mom to the bathroom, but the chair could not get through the door. I tried to lift her, and my mom fell to the ground.
Oh, God, have mercy.
A security guard came to the rescue, and we put her back in the seat. Shortly afterwards, I saw a female doctor, and she came and asked, what is the name of my mother? I told her, and she said she's waiting for her. I explained the difficulty. She went and got a porter. Where, I don't know. After getting the test done, a blood test was done. My mom was sent to do an x-ray. This was 12 midnight. We were still at the hospital waiting for the results of the blood test. As this is needed...
What time had they gone there?
5 in the afternoon.
Oh, 5 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. This is now 12 midnight.
Yes.
We were still at the hospital waiting for the results of the blood test. Because all this is needed to decide on further treatment. The doctor told me she's planning to admit my mother on Ward 5. But there were no beds. There were no beds available either in the observation room, nor in the stretcher available for her to lie down. My mom's feet were swollen. She spent the whole night sitting in the wheelchair. I left at 6 a.m.
Oh, God.
When my stepfather came. When I returned about 10 a.m. the next morning, I found my mother still sitting in the same wheelchair. Okay. Now with 2 lacerations, which she received from falling again in trying to get to the bathroom. My father was again rescued by another security guard. One of the lacerations was covered. I spoke to the doctor which attended my mother, and she said she was not informed of the incident. Can you believe...
His father was arrested?
Of the incident. He spoke to the doctor.
No, his father, did he say his father was... Oh. Mm-hmm.
Can you believe the doctor asked me to get my mother's medication from home? so that she could take them, as they didn't have any drugs at the hospital to give her. They had a long list of drugs from the doc we referred from and couldn't find the drugs. I overheard the doctors and the nurses complaining that they can't work in these conditions. No drugs, no beds, no stretchers, nor wheelchairs to work with. One judge exclaimed, "We can't even find Cetamol to give them." The following day, the doc decided to send my mother home with a prescription because no beds were still available on the ward. I went to the administration office to speak to someone about the fall my mom had had. As usual, everyone was in a meeting. The physical waiting area is bad. The bathroom stinks and the staff morale is low. The attitude is very poor. I felt as if I was at someone's home bothering them. The porters need supervision and training, and the security guards must stop screening people who come to the hospital and just must be taught how to deal with people. What if a tourist attending the World Cup cricket fell ill or met with an accident? Will they be taken to Spanish Town Hospital, or will the hospital be fixed for the World Cup?
Well, I tell you something. I was thinking while you were reading that it's all very well to be dissatisfied with the conditions of the hospital, but the government, the money that they need to spend on it, they can't afford to spend on it because they're spending it on the World Cup. It's amazing that we should have so much money to spend on the Cricket World Cup when our hospitals are in that condition. And what you have described there is bad enough, but we have heard worse descriptions of situations in hospitals like Jubilee and the Kingston Public. Yeah.
Mr. Perkins, despite all the criticism, I think that Mr. K.D. Knight and Mr. Junior are doing an excellent job on the PAC. It is God's work, Mr. Perkins, and Mr. Knight must keep his word that Mr. Patterson will never, under any circumstances, appear before the PAC. I wonder
it is what?
About
what he said it is?
God's work.
God's work.
Yes, he's carrying out God's work.
Hold on just a
moment. And then show it.
Hold on. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Yes, go ahead.
Dear Mr. Perkins, I thought the following article from Africa.com, it's on the internet, might amuse and interest you.
Yeah.
Might amuse or interest you,
yes,
says this emailer. It appears that our Mr. Patterson is now supporting the activities of a particular political party in Nigeria.
Oh?
Is this a growing trend? It is gratifying to note that Mr. Patterson cares so much about the prosperity and security of Nigeria. Here is the article from Africa.com. Nigeria, what the world expects from Nigeria, by Patterson, this day in Lagos. Posted on the web January 9th, 2007. Okay, Epia.
Now, is this
Abuja.
An article that he has written or a speech that he made or what?
It's a speech. It's a report of a speech
that he made.
That Mr. Patterson reportedly made. Former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Most Honorable P.J. Patterson, has listed 6 things the international community expects from Nigeria as the country transits from one civilian government to another. In a keynote address at the retreat for the People's Democratic Party candidates, Patterson said the successful conduct of a free and fair election, devoid of violence and acceptable to Nigerians, was uppermost in the mind of the global community. Others are the consolidation and entrenchment of democratic institutions in an irreversible manner that would keep the military at bay, and harnessing the country's immense human and material resources for the eradication of poverty. He identified the playing of a leading role in eliminating wars and ensuring security on the continent, and for contributions towards building a new world order based on equality of nations and other expectations. He said Nigeria, with its unique ethnic composition, should show to the world through its capacity to conduct elections which are fair and devoid of violence, with respect to the will of the people and in accordance with the federal constitution, establish a government that can unite all its tribes and people. That was a quote. He said the need, quote, to entrench democratic institutions, deepen the process, make it irreversible, and make military dictatorship unattractive is one of the expectations placed on Nigeria. The husbandry of immense natural resources will aid development of human capital and the spread of knowledge, the development of physical infrastructure, diversifying the economy, and reducing poverty. And for Nigeria to be a beacon for Africa in eliminating wars and conflicts and ensuring security and prosperity throughout the entire continent. He said Nigeria will continue to make contributions to global issues which the entire world must respond to in politics, trade, international economy, and to help forge cohesion and build a new world order in which we are all truly equal partners. What a pity he did not have the same dreams for his own country, Mr. Perkins.
I was thinking the same thing. Or at any rate, that if he did, he couldn't realize it, bring it to reality.
Mr. Perkins, according to information from the police flying squad, this is a document here. The incidence of carjacking is on the increase, with up to 7 incidents occurring per day in the corporate area. 3 incidents were recorded yesterday, one in Spanish Town, one in Halfway Tree area, one in Red Hills Road area. The use of handguns is a common feature in all incidents. Some of the noted hotspots for carjacking are as follows: Portmore Mall, Richmond Park, Mona, Hope Pastures, Zadie Gardens, Red Hills Road, Greater Portmore, Spanish Town. The modus operandi of these criminals is to usually use 2 vehicles, one to block the path of the victim and the other to prevent the victim from reversing. They then alight from their vehicles with handguns, which they use to intimidate and rob their victims before making good their escape in the victim's vehicle. Targeted models are Toyota Corollas, Honda Civics, Nissan Sunny motorcars, and SUVs are also targeted. People in these areas, be on the lookout.
Yes.
Especially women.
Yes.
The mailer is saying he urges women to be very, very careful.
Yes.
Sir P., what I would like to get an answer to is, your competitors and other talk show hosts, when they are not throwing word at you, on almost every one of them do it, including on your own station, where they spend their time parading and announcing the great things that could happen in this country. Mr. Perkins, do you remember you telling us a joke about it? You don't seem to have a problem with them. Why is it that you choose to speak about the other side? The dark side, for want of a better term. Negative side. Why is it they find that so irritating? Isn't that what a democracy is all about? Freedom of speech, providing you're not defaming somebody. Every day I see the hypocrisy glaring in their faces.
Well, if they enjoy doing that and their listeners like it, fine by me. I don't have a problem.
Mr. Perkins, I am eagerly awaiting the publication of the Contractor General's report as it relates to Mr. Alston Stewart. Mr. Perkins, I want to take a bet. You're going to have to shut your damn mouth. Hello, Mr. Perkins. I have been listening to that man calling from the UK, and it's clear which political group he favors. His argument has many holes. His accent is very slippery.
Very what?
Slippery.
Oh.
I wonder if he was really calling from the UK. He sounds like a returned migrant to me.
No, I think he is in the UK.
When he's asked to provide the evidence to support his case, he has none. He talked about the woman you were supposed to have dissed, but could not provide the argument that she had put forward, which you had rubbished. He could not provide the evidence of his complaint, of what you said. This man needs to go and study. First of all, he must learn to speak English, since he's a British black gentleman. And then come with a clear argument with supporting evidence.
Yes. That's it?
So far.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm not too good and not too bad.
Oh, come on. You're very good. and not,
here is life.
You're very, very good and not too bad.
Mr. Perkins, I have been trying to get to you for about 3 months now.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, man.
I didn't know I was that worth getting to. That much worth getting to. Oh, Lord. What a piece of flattery.
There's something I want to say to you. I have a very frightening experience at the Spanish Town Hospital.
Tension's office.
Spanish Town Hospital.
The Spanish Town Hospital?
Yes.
You know, we just had an email about that a while ago.
I went to Spanish Town Hospital, Mr. Perkins. One evening I left work, and when I reached home, I saw some signs that I didn't like. So I went to the Spanish Town Hospital because I know that things like that could be life-threatening.
Wait, hold on. You went initially to which hospital?
Spanish Town.
Spanish Town?
Yes. When I went there, it was about 7 o'clock in the evening. I went to the emergency area. I saw security sat down, and I said...
So it was the same afternoon that you'd gone to the hospital?
Yes.
And then you went back when you saw these signs?
No, I didn't went there first. I saw the signs first. Then I rushed off to the hospital.
I see. All right.
When I went there, Mr. Perkins, I went to the emergency area. I saw a security guard sat down there. So I said to him, I need to go to see a doctor, and it's an emergency. He said to me, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "No, I can't."
He was a doctor sitting there.
No, he's a security guard.
Disguised as a security guard.
Yes, in his uniform.
Yeah, I see.
He said to me,
but he really was a doctor.
He said to me, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "No, I can't tell you. I need to see a doctor." He said, "Well, you can't go to see the doctor unless you tell me what is happening from here."
I beg your pardon?
Yes. I said to him, "No, I am not telling you." And I walked away. I go around to another section. I saw a nurse and I explained to the nurse, I said, "What is this? Do I have to tell the security what is wrong with me before I see a doctor?" She said to me, "Well, that's what's happening here. I don't know. I cannot say anything further."
That was her position.
That was what the nurse said to me.
I see.
I pass and I go down to another section. I saw another security guard there and two male. They weren't doctor. I don't know who they were, if they come to see doctor or what, but they were in their casual clothes. I said, "Security guard, do I have to tell you or your other co-worker what is wrong with me before I see a doctor?" He said to me, "No, who say that?" And I tell him. He said, a gentleman was there and he was very upset. He said, "No, she's a female. So why?" I left them. I saw a doctor coming.
But whether you're a female or male, I don't see that it is any damn business of the security guard what is wrong with you.
I saw a doctor coming and I shouted to the doctor. He recognized me and he stopped. And I explained to him and he said to me that, well, it is the rule of the hospital.
Oh?
And he...
So your second security guard didn't know the rule of the hospital? Hold on just a moment for me. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Perkins. After speaking to that doctor, he said to me, "What is wrong with you?" And I explained to him what is wrong. And he sent me immediately to the emergency.
He said what?
He sent me immediately to the emergency doctor.
Yes.
I went to the emergency doctor and they examined and they gave me a letter to do some x-ray. I left there that night and I didn't go back. The reason why I didn't go back, Mr. Perkins, I don't want to have to tell the security guard the next day what is happening to me.
Yes.
Because how am I supposed to go to the hospital and before I see a doctor or nurse to speak to say to them what is happening to me, I have to say to the security guard what is wrong?
I should have thought not.
That is very frightening, Mr. Perkins.
It is, yes.
It is very frightening. That is a slack hospital.
And there not to be a reception desk to which you go.
There is none. There is none there. There is none. There is two emergency area there.
So how do you see a doctor ordinarily?
When you go there is a screening area where you go to. Sometimes you go there and the screening doctor is not there as yet. But there is an emergency area where if you had an emergency problem that you will go to and speak with a doctor.
Yes.
But you cannot go through that emergency area unless you speak with the doctor.
But you're telling me you have to speak to the security guard?
Security guard.
Have you had your problem sorted out?
Yes, I had it sorted out with private doctor.
I see.
Because I won't return back to that hospital.
Yes. You suffer too great an indignity when you go to the hospital.
Yes, Mr. Perkins, and then what I'm saying is that what happened to other people that cannot go to the private doctor?
Yes.
They will have to go and stoop so
low.
I've
been thinking about that recently. A lot of people, quite apart from what the kind of situation that you describe, almost every night on television, there is a clip, or not a clip, a program, a piece of news relating to people, some person who has some illness, right? Needs treatment, can't afford to have it treated, and is begging for help.
But,
right?
But I'm saying to you there now, Mr. Perkins, right now I had a surgery to be done on my foot, and it is $195,000.
A what?
It is $195,000
to do it?
Yes.
What is it, an operation?
Yes, it is an operation.
On your foot?
Yes. I had a broken ankle.
Yes.
So there is a corrective surgery to be done to it. And I'm not even thinking about it because I cannot find that amount of money.
Oh, God.
I cannot find that amount of money. My weekly salary is just $3,300. I have to pay rent, water, heat, and light.
Oh, God. Oh, hell. Boy, it's rough. But, you know, the economy is taking off. And Sister P loves the poor. And will do all she can for the poor.
She loves herself.
Eh?
She loves herself. If you have been to her constituency, then
I
you would have
wouldn't
known
describe
that she
Sister
loves
P as
people.
being among the poor. I wouldn't do that. But she says she loves the poor.
And she is sent from God.
Oh, God sent her here to minister to the poor.
Oh,
and
my
to put
God.
an end to their suffering. Okay?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
So, how long has she been Prime Minister now?
I am, Mr. Perkins, believe me, I am not even counting. All I know, Mr. Perkins, is that I'm counting the day towards the general election.
Yes?
I'll be the first person to go out there to make my ex.
Yes. And you're going to make it for Sister P?
Mr. Perkins? What? No, sir.
You have to make
never ever do that.
You have to make it for Sister P.
No, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, she
Mr.
loves the
Perkins,
poor.
All I need to see of Sister P is her back.
You joking, man.
Through
You're
the house.
joking. Have you ever had a hug and a kiss from Sister P?
No, sir. I don't need it. I might be worse off than how I am now.
You're joking, man.
I might be worse, very worse off
You're
than
not
how I
serious.
am now.
You're not serious. Come now. Sister P loves the poor.
No, sir.
Right? And give
You
me
know
enough
who
time.
loves the poor, Mr. Perkins?
Yes?
Man like Senator Arthur Williams.
Yes.
I don't know for anybody, but I know for him.
He loves the poor?
Yes.
And you get a hug and a kiss from him?
I have not hugged and kissed him, but certainly I have spoken with
Him not
him.
good then. How him can go down and no hug and kiss?
Hug and kiss with nothing behind it, sir.
Oh, Lord.
Hug and kiss with nothing behind it.
Well, the love for the poor. Your love for the poor.
Mr. Perkins,
Eh?
you want to go through Senator Arthur Williams. You want to go through the constituency that he represents. And you want to speak with the people there to show how much he is been working. And if he is been working this way now, if we just give him a chance to represent us, then you know that, and we know that it is going to be better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mom.
Yes, sir.
All the best to you. Hello? Hello?
Hello, dear Pastor. Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah. We have some problem we have there.
What is that?
Yeah, we have some problem in Mount Pleasant. They have this, come like they are sabotaging us, you know?
Oh, Mount Pleasant?
Yeah, that's in Runaway Bay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and
what is the
I've
problem?
been there for about 7 years now.
Eh?
I lived there for 7 years.
Yes.
And from I live there, I see they have this road there. Every time the JP come and they get down, so it just going low and dig up more no one pay attention to us. And we have children going to school, we have old people in that hill, and no one pay no mind up there. Only like now, the election time coming up now, that's the time I'm seeing them.
Oh, they come?
Pardon me?
Have they come?
They just come and pass through, and we have a hard shower rain last week. And now it's worse.
Yes.
But I don't think we're gonna give them no vote this time.
Why?
Because we live up there, no one pay no mind to us. We have children going to school and morning and evening shift, and it's right at the street where I go to get drive. There's no bus stop there, and there is no light. And sometimes we have even people going to work at 11 o'clock who work in the hotel, and they have to stood there waiting and drive.
Oh boy. What sort of drive? You mean buses?
Pardon me?
Buses?
Yeah, the buses.
Oh, you mean, and there's a lot of, what, dust and so on?
No dust, but it is very hard to get drive there, and so people not picking out people in that time there because they said it's dangerous there.
I see. Hold on just a moment. Hey, thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello?
Yes, sir. As I was saying about this road now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very dangerous up there. And when we come down and to go back up there in the late night, we have a big fare to pay. Because a taxi man not going to take us up there for just $100. If even one of us, he's going to take $500.
500?
Yeah, $500.
Oh, God.
For one away from the runaway base skirt, just up there. And some people, we are doing it for weeks. For 7 days a week, because some of us work for 7 days a week.
Yes.
And it's really hard up there.
Well, you must work for a lot of money if you can afford that.
Not really, but...
The transportation.
It's not really.
Eh?
No, we don't work as much.
You have a good job, man.
$3,000.
$3,000 a week?
Yeah, but that's just bus fare, because right now I work at night. And I have to pay that money to go up. So when it comes to weekend, I have nothing left.
Oh, God.
If we're walking on the road and I see a vehicle coming on the road, if they just pass, we can't say nothing. Because the road is really bad. The JP come up there, every time they dig up him, just come with a tractor and they scrape it off. So, it just, it's just digging down.
Yes.
Like we're going down into a gully.
So you're working to pay transportation to work and back home?
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
Now we have somebody to ask you.
Hello?
Yes, Mom.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Good afternoon, Mom.
First time on the program, sir.
So what?
This is my first time on your program.
Oh, I'm happy to have you.
I've been listening to you a long time now.
Oh, you have?
Yes, Mr. Perkins, from a little bit at 6 years of age. My father, he likes to listen to your program.
Oh, is that so? Yes.
Yes, Mr. Perkins. What I'm saying to you now, Mr. Perkins, over there in Ernest Smith, neck of the woods, I heard you talk about St. Mary, which that is not his part, and I've never heard you talk about Murray Mount, which is in St. Anne's. Yes, Mr. Perkins. There are lots of young guys and young girls up there, and they have no work. Like they leave primary to high school, after high school, no jobs for them, sir.
Yes. That's going on all over Jamaica, Mom.
Yes, sir, I know that, but I think there could be something provided for them.
Yes, opportunities.
Yes, sir.
But no opportunities being provided. And,
yes, sir, and most of the young people up there, sir, they are like on the street, on the corner.
Yes.
And most of the young girls, Mr. Perkins, from age 18 to age 23, you can see them with at least 5 kids.
You can do what?
See them with at least 5 kids, Mr. Perkins,
oh, God,
and
yes.
no job.
Yes.
And I think that's not nice. That's not good for us as young people.
Boy, our countries...
We need jobs. We need help, Mr. Perkins. The young guys there that won't be going out for the guns.
Yes. You have that down there?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Guns?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Oh, God. Oh, hell.
We need help, Mr. Perkins, and what I'm saying to look at this in St. Anne where Kaiser is at. And it's next door to Alexandria. Murray Mountain is next door to Alexandria. And not even job, Mr. Perkins. Most of the young girls, when they're in bars, which, they're better for us, but that's what we have to take.
Oh, hell, yes.
I'm not living there now. I'm on the North Coast. But, as a young girl, I'm worried about the others.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, but we hear the economy is growing. How many? 3,000 record number of tourists come. 3 million.
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Record numbers of tourists coming into the country.
I read the news this morning, but benefiting from it. I'm not benefiting from it. Neither those.
Nor are those young people.
None of them, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, nor are.
And, Mr. Perkins, farming is good, but for most of those young girls who have to take cutlass and that hoe and go on the farm, it's not really nice.
Can't do what?
For those young girls have to take up their cutlass, Mr. Perkins, every day and be on the farm. Farming is good, but, everybody needs a brighter future.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. And that future doesn't seem to be here.
Don't seem as if.
Well, Sister P loves the poor, She will take care of it.
We are over there in Alexandria, Murray Mountain, Essex Castle, Grant Mountain, and we are not seeing her.
Yes.
Once in my life I ever see her, Mr. Perkins. She was passing Runaway Bay, and a lot of people hug her and kiss her, and nothing else.
Yes.
And she's not going that direction.
Oh, boy. Anyway, Mom.
Okay, Mr.
Let's hope,
Perkins. And nice talking to you.
Okay, all the best to you, too. Depressing. Hello?
Yes?
You hear about poverty in the inner city areas.
Perkins?
You're now hearing about it in the rural areas. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Perkins. How
yes,
you doing?
sir. Yes,
Hello?
go ahead.
Mr. Perkins?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you.
Yeah, you have never gotten a hug and a kiss from Sister P?
Oh, yes.
You have?
Yes, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Swept off my feet.
I beg your pardon?
I was swept off my feet, sir.
How come that did not make headline?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why it should have.
Well, I don't know why it shouldn't have. I don't know why it shouldn't have.
Well, I don't know. I can't see why it should.
Well, I couldn't see why it shouldn't. But anyway, Mr. Perkins, a hug and a kiss is good still, Mr. Perkins.
Oh, yes.
Because there's this lady who wrote for the British Telegraph in London by the name of Fiona Herald.
Yes.
And what she was saying is that 100 years ago, the generation before us did not have the amount of material wealth that we have, but yet still they were more happier. And she went on to say that, the generation now, which is today, we have automobiles, laptop telephones, and all these things at our disposal, but yet still we are not as happy as the generation who was before us, who did not have all these many things.
Well, I don't know what it is that led her to that conclusion.
Well, what she's saying is that places like England, which is the 4th richest country in the world, needs a radical shake-up. Instead of focusing on making people wealthier in the material world, they must now focus on making people happier. So by Sister P going around giving a lot of hug and a kiss, that itself could stimulate individuals in this country.
Oh, it is making them happier. It is making people happier.
It is making people happier, Mr. Perkins.
I see.
And what we need...
So what we need are more hugs, not more automobiles, not more telephones, not more food on the table, not more medical treatment and so on. What we need are more hugs and kisses.
I think you're taking it out of proportion, Mr. Perkins.
What?
I am saying that's a part of what could happen to make people happier.
Is hugging and kissing.
Yeah, don't you think that the more people happier, the less they end up in hospitals and places like these? If you go out and you see smiles on people's face every day, Mr. Perkins, that atmosphere within itself would cut the cost of crime, you know.
I see.
You don't think so?
Well, I don't know. You're telling me.
No, I'm asking, what's your opinion on that?
So what we ought to do is get Sister P to go into the gangland areas and hug and kiss, and that will put an end to crime.
No, it will not, but let us not disregard that it will help, Mr. Perkins. There's no one solution to any one problem, you know.
I see.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, so whatever can help.
Well, I wouldn't go quite as far as that, but
I beg your pardon?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so in her capacity, she has to be doing every little that is humanly possible that will be able to, stem crime and violence in this country.
Yes.
And if hugging and kissing is a part of that, then nothing wrong with that, Mr. Perkins.
Oh, hugging and kissing.
As long as it contributes towards.
So the people can be pauperized, and they can suffer at the hands of the police and of the criminals, and they can find that when they go to the hospitals, they are required to pay money that they don't have in order to get the treatment, and on and on like that. But all that you need is to give them a few hugs and kisses, and everything will be all right.
Yeah, but how do you compare that, Mr. Perkins, with what I've said earlier?
Yes.
In regards to England.
Yes, that maybe if they're being hugged and kissed enough.
The material world.
Yes, if you're hugged and kissed enough, then you won't get ill. And you might even live forever.
I think you're taking it out of context, but talking about the police, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir.
Listen to this statement. The preservation of peace and the guaranteeing of man's basic human rights required courage and eternal vigilance. Courage to speak and act, and if necessary to suffer and die for truth and justice. Now, Mr. Perkins, if I am a potential witness to a trial, and I have seen with my two eyes an individual gotten slain down innocently by whomever, and because of intimidation and fear, I am now unable to go and stand as a witness. What happens then now, Mr. Perkins, when it reaches me?
Well, other people will be afraid to testify, and so the thing will go through.
So where do we go? How do we actually turn around that?
Well, first of all, sir, the state will have to guarantee, if the state, it is the business of the state to provide justice for its people.
Yeah, but
hold on a moment.
Yeah.
Hold on. We have to take a break. We'll come back shortly. Hey, thank you very much. We're back here online.
Yes, Mr. Perkins. What were you saying?
What?
What were you saying?
What was I saying?
Yeah, you were saying in regards to the police force. Yeah, but what I'm saying, Mr. Perkins, that within itself could cut the cost of crime, you know. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then eventually that
yes, sir, but
hang on, Mr. Perkins,
hold
that
on.
will attract.
The state has the obligation to provide justice and security for its people.
I agree with you entirely.
Okay, now,
but let me ask
hold on.
Hang on, Mr. Perkins.
Let me make my point.
Yeah, but let me ask this question.
Hold on and hear what I have to say. You haven't heard what I have to say. Right? The state, if people are afraid to testify, then justice is going to be unavailable. So the state has the duty to create the situations in which people will testify with the assurance of their own safety.
What if the people don't have confidence in the state?
Then the state, that means that the state is failing.
Let me ask you this, Mr.
The state is there to create a situation in which people will feel secure in testifying, because that is necessary to the provision of justice and security, which is one of the first obligations of the state.
So what if the state finds itself with the state itself breaking the law?
Yes.
Doesn't that have the potential of spreading anarchy?
But of course. Yes.
So, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir.
When you look at the whole situation and you analyze it very carefully.
Yes.
The approach directly to take is not going to be any one single solution. You know?
What you say?
The approach towards the crime and violence and all that is happening in this country, it is not going to solve by any one single problem.
It is going to require a complex of solutions. Yes.
Precisely. To solve the problem.
Yes.
So each and every one of us has to play our part. Would you then not agree with that?
Yes, sir, but there are some parts that are bigger than others.
Right.
The Prime Minister has a part which is bigger than those of you and me.
Right.
Right? And she must do her job, and the Minister of Security must do his job. Right? Or the rest of us are not going to be able to do our jobs. Am I right?
Yeah, I will agree with that.
Yes, well.
So, as I was saying before.
I have with me Mr. Delroy Chuck, who wants to join this conversation. Oh, I see. All right. Okay, all right. Hold on just a moment. Yes, sir. Okay?
Okay, then.
All right. All the best to you. Okay, hello?
Hi, Mutty.
Yes, Mr. Chuck.
Well, I've spoken to you since the beginning of
yes,
the year.
Indeed.
So all the best to you.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Right, but I heard on the lunch news broadcast, A.J. Nichols saying two things. Something to the effect, I may be wrong, but you can correct me, that he would support giving the electoral voters list to the police.
Yes, but he did say that he wouldn't do it without the people's approval.
Oh, right. And also something to the effect about the retirement age of judges.
Yes, sir.
No.
That is he wants that to be increased.
No, Mutty, let me just say, in principle, we don't have a problem examining the retirement age of judges. But let me say, the opposition position is that this year, is an election year, to the best of our understanding. And we shouldn't be, tampering with the Constitution in an atmosphere that we can't go to Parliament and debate, in a calm and serene manner.
Yes.
What is more, Mutty, they presently have an assessment and reform of the justice system, where, to the best of my knowledge, all the recommendations must come in by May, and they hope to send out a report in June.
Yes.
I believe that the retirement age of judges and magistrates and senior legal officers are things to be considered in the reform of the justice system. And therefore, the opposition will not consider amending the Constitution until after this assessment has been done by the Reform Committee.
Yes.
In other words, when the committee reports in June, one of the recommendations we hope that will come from the ministry is that the judges' retirement age and the magistrates or senior legal advisors could be put to 72, 75, or 80, whatever the case may be, so that it can be considered in the overall assessment of the reform of the justice system.
Yes.
But this idea that you're going to change section 100, subsection 1, because just like this, Mutty, Parliament should not be tampering with the Constitution,
Well,
the Constitution does not belong to Parliament. The Constitution belongs to the people.
Mr. Chuck, I agree with that, but I go further. Any provision that can be altered by Parliament by simple majority should not be in a constitution.
No, I agree with you totally,
right?
Mutty.
And it tells me that the persons who were responsible for bringing that constitution into being did not have a clue what a constitution was about.
This has to
and that includes people like Norman Manley and David Corr and Vivian Blake and the rest of them.
Well, you know,
They did not have a clue what a constitution was about, because a constitution imposes constraints upon government in the way that ordinary laws impose constraints upon you and me.
That's right.
Right?
Especially upon Parliament.
If the thief could alter the larceny act, right? Then burglary would cease to be a criminal offense.
Absolutely. Or they would have the opportunity, as many people now say, since the trees are God trees, we have a right to pick it, to pick the fruits. No, I'm just disappointed, Mutty, that this matter should be coming up now in an atmosphere not only of the election, but also when we are looking at an assessment of the justice system. I only hope that it is a suggestion coming from the minister.
I think that there is an urgent call, though, a need, though, sir.
Well, no, Mutty, it does not matter whether it's urgent or whether it is specific.
There is a leading member of the judiciary, I gather, who is approaching retirement age.
Well,
and I gather was expected in some circles to be going on leave. And I gather that he has said that we're going to be tired to see his face.
Well, Mutty,
and that there are certain persons that...
I really try to avoid controversy, as you know. But let me just say that I'm looking at principle, that we must be very careful how we just change whatever sections of the Constitution without due, full consideration, not only by the parliamentarians, but consideration by the people of Jamaica.
That is quite true.
One other thing, Mutty.
But before you, there was in the United States, I am not sure, but I suspect that there is no age limit to the members of the judiciary staying on.
Of the federal court, Mutty.
Of the federal court.
The federal court, they can go until...
Yes, there was a famous judge. What was his name?
There are many of them,
Yes, but he was there when he was about 85, as I remember.
No, in fact, most of the judges go until they're in their 80s. Most of the judges, the Supreme Court judges, go until they're in their 80s. In fact, I can think of one federal court judge now, a fellow known as Johnson, who was rejected and so was not appointed as a Supreme Court judge. And I think he's close to 90 now and still sitting on the
I'm not hearing you very well.
No, this federal court judge.
Yes.
And he's close to 90 and still sitting.
Yes.
And may I just say that the House of Lords, the members of the House of Lords used to sit until they were 80s and 90s.
Yes.
Just in recent times, the United Kingdom has limited the age, the upper limit to 75.
Well, it seems to me that what is important here is function.
Function, and if they're functioning well.
Yes.
But one other thing. We have heard about the murder rate since the beginning of the year. And various persons have been put in it. Sometimes you hear under 30, sometimes you hear over 30. I can tell you, Mutty, up to the first 6 days, up to Sunday was 7 days, 38 murders were committed.
Up to Sunday?
Up to Sunday.
38?
38, that's the official figures from the police. 38 murders.
We're now at Wednesday.
And believe me, up to yesterday, I heard of 4 on the news report.
Yes, we're gone over 40.
I have no doubt that we're closer to 50 now, probably over 50, because of the number of murders we have heard about. I don't know, Mutty, what is happening, but it's obvious that we have started the year on a bang.
Well, yes.
And I heard you talking about the murder rate going down in 2006 significantly, and we must be happy for that. But as I pointed out, and you also pointed out, that has been happening since 1995 or 96.
Yes.
1 year it goes up to
up, and another way it goes down.
Following year to 900 and odd. Then it goes up again to 1,000. It goes down again. So that, there's no sustained control of murders in Jamaica. And I think this is what is worrisome, because although we must be very happy that murders went down last year, the question is, can we keep it this year, not only at this level, but hopefully to go down even further?
But that depends upon why it went down.
That's
right?
the point, Mutty.
I mean, maybe a man may have planned to commit a murder on the night of the 31st of December. But then something got in the way. He found something more attractive, spent his time doing that, and put it off till the following night.
But not only that, Mutty.
Hold on just a moment for me. Okay, thank you very much. We're back with you, sir.
Yeah, Mutty. We're talking about the murder figures and whether the reduction can be sustained. And you made a point, you see, it depends on when it occurred. And let's face it, a number of factors contribute to murder. And they don't necessarily come overnight.
Yes.
I mean, people can plan murder from months before,
Yes.
Or the conflicts that result in murder can happen several months, but the murder just occur, 3 months
later. But not only that, sir. We have over 1,000 murders committed in Jamaica. 1,600 last year, the year before last, right? Of that number, what proportion are cleared up?
Less than 30%.
Less than 30%.
Yes.
So more than 70% of the murders committed in Jamaica.
Nobody knows how they occurred.
Precisely.
Sorry, nobody have not been cleared up to the extent that people have been charged or it have been investigated and people have been charged.
Or it might be a man was killed last night and the police say he was wanted for 10 murders.
Exactly.
Right? But the point is this, that if it is that easy to commit murder and get away with it, right?
Then the risk is good.
It isn't the state and its methodologies that are limiting the number of murders committed.
Quite.
Right?
Just to finish up this point, Mutty. For instance, the Lynn family, the husband and wife, of most gruesome killing.
Yes.
If the bodies are theirs, which seems quite likely.
Yes.
Now, those two murders, where do you put those figures? Last year or this year? Because we don't know if it's the two persons. We don't know as yet if the bodies discovered are the Lynns.
Absolutely.
So we don't know whether to put it last year or this year. Now, another point, Mutty. We hear the economy is improving.
Oh, yes.
But it seems to me that under, those who are reading the economy and saying it is improving, when the economy is improving, it seems to me everything else is declining. and I mean decaying.
Yes.
Because when you look at the roads, Mutty,
oh God, yes.
right across the country, you have complaints. Did you see Monday night, Mutty? The road that the teachers have to take to the school?
With the one with a truck driving on it?
Yeah. No. One in which nothing could drive on it.
No, there was one that I saw on television.
No, that was somewhere in South Manchester, to the best of my recollection.
With the truck bumping up and down?
But Mutty, right across Jamaica, the government has spent little money on the repair of roads.
Yes.
And when they do spend money, Mutty, they just put in a little filler to fill a couple potholes, and within a matter of weeks or months, more potholes emerge.
Yes.
And I'm saying, you can say the economy is improving. How can you say so when everything is falling apart?
Mr. Chuck, this is a matter of context, you see. I hear all these economic specialists discussing things on the radio and so on, and telling you about how, the economy, this is improving and so on. And the impression I'm getting, it is as if I'm listening to people discussing, we have a donkey cart, right?
Yes.
And there are things wrong with it.
Well, the base is so low,
the wheel here and the donkey foot there and the couple of boards in it and so on. And we hear about improvements made to it, and, you know, the plan is to put a coat of paint on it and make it look nice, right? Nobody is arguing about how are we going to transform from the donkey cart to modern technology of a motor vehicle that can carry several times, 10, 15, 20 times what the donkey cart can carry and more.
But you know, Mutty, there are several points to note from what you have said. Our expectations are so low that in this little improvement we see as something significant.
Yes.
In other words, the fact that the economy might be growing by not by 1% but by 2% or even 3%.
Well,
we see this as some big thing, and I question, Mutty, whether we will even grow by 3% this year.
Yes.
And let me say this, Mutty, if we grow by 3 or less percent, it could have been caused by inflation.
Yes.
It's not a significant
absolutely.
growth.
Well, when last has there been a year in which growth was not predicted and
as 3 to 4%? For the last 12 years, Mutty, we have grown by an average of less than 2%.
Yes.
So, I mean, if we now grow by 3%, it would be a major achievement for the government because they have never grown by so much. And that is what I'm saying, Mutty. Our expectations are so low that we can't think of 6 and 8% growth, which is what is happening in any developing country where an economy is booming now, Mutty. And I'm saying it is very sad. But you see a situation in Mutty where the government has withheld money from the capital expenditure. And so you see a total dismantling within our various agencies like the hospitals, the police stations, the roads, the schools. Did you see last night, Mutty, the school where rats has taken over?
Yes.
Somewhere in Manchester?
Yes. Incidentally, somebody wants me to mention to the issue of missing persons.
Exactly.
Over 2,000 persons missing since November, I believe,
for the last couple of years, I think.
Yes.
And we don't...
At the end of November,
right,
there were 2,000 persons missing. What about them?
They might be victims of murder, and we have yet to clear up that issue of whether or not they are really missing, or whether or not they have been killed.
Yes, indeed.
So these are factors we have to bear in mind.
Yes.
Finally, Mutty, I see a list of prophecies.
Prophecies
by various false prophets.
Yes.
Because how I can just say, Mutty, so can you, that you're a prophet and I am a prophet and I can make various predictions. It's obvious to me, Mutty, when I read these prophecies, that it's really a wish list of the prophet.
Very likely.
A wish list of the prophet, because how do we know that he is hearing or listening to God? And at what times of the day or when did he get these inspiration from the Almighty?
Yes.
So it seemed to me that when these prophets pronounce these things, unless they can let us know, like Saul, when he became Paul on the road to Damascus, that he had this enlightenment, they must tell us before they can tell us why these prophecies will come true.
But not only that, sir. Not only that. These people, calling themselves clergy and prophets and whatever, and agents of God and so on, seem to have no idea of the magnificence of God. And they seem to imagine that he's involved in these pettifogging matters.
Well, you know what? If you go back over the last 10 to 15 years, the number of prophecies that have turned out to be nothing but foolishness.
Yes.
I recall sometime in 1989 or 90, there was this lady who prophesied that Siaga would be returned to power. And also that the Blue Mountains would become a prosperous place, and various prosperity will boom out of the Blue Mountain within 10 years.
Yes.
Nothing has happened since. Nobody will remember these prophecies.
You know, sir, let me tell you something. I don't understand these clergy and people like that. Right? There is a verse in the book of Genesis about God making man, creating man in his own image.
Right.
Now, my understanding of that is that God's creative power, He endowed man with something analogous to it.
Yes, a brain.
By giving man that human brain. Right? And he has given man free will, and man can go and do what he wants to do. Right? So I don't see God interfering to go and tell the Jamaican people, you must have this or have that.
You know something, Mutty,
they decide what they want.
You know what man has. You know what man has, which sometimes is foolishly used.
Yes.
And that is imagination.
Yes.
So when you have these prophets, they imagine these things and believe that they're prophecies.
Well,
no,
I'm not sure that they're imagining it. Or
I think it's a wish list, man.
They're putting forward what they want
to happen.
You know, and they're engaged in fooling people.
Yes.
Right, trying to fool up people. And this is a fulfillment of their religious mission.
Yeah, but you know what? Unfortunately, they do fool a lot of churchgoers.
Maybe they do.
And it is about time that the churchgoers of this country become very skeptical about some of the things they hear, not only outside of church, but also inside of church.
Yes.
Because believe me, Mutty, the churches have a role to play in Jamaica. And it is very important that their trustworthiness and their credibility are kept intact. And when they go about with these wild political wish lists, they really make a mockery of themselves.
Well, there was an interesting program on television yesterday evening. Did you see it?
No, which was it?
Mr. Ian Boyne was there.
No, I was
with a couple of clergy from the United States.
Were they the gay priest?
Huh?
The gay priest?
Oh God, yes. Fascinating.
I didn't get a chance to see it much.
Okay.
All the best to you.
Thank you very much. All the best to you. Okay, that brings us to the end of Perkins on Line 4 today.